Kansas City Chiefs won the toss. They will receive. That means we'll get an early look at the former 49er and current Chiefs quarterback Alex Smith. For much more on his story that's defining the National Football League this week, here is the third member of our team on the sideline, Rachel Sanchi.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, I spoke with Alex earlier, and he said he's focused at the task at hand. He knows there's a lot of hype surrounding this game, but he said it's just a preseason. He got to the stadium early, listened to some music, nothing that really pumps you up. He wanted to keep an even keel. He said that he's ready to wear a Chiefs uniform and be at Arrowhead Stadium.
All right, we can't wait to watch Alex Smith play against his old team here. And we invite all of you to get involved in the broadcast. Let us know on Twitter what you're thinking. Send us your pictures via Twitter and also Instagram. Hashtag Chiefs Kingdom. We'll take a look at them and share your thoughts and pictures throughout the broadcast here this evening. And there is the man of the hour. He looks calm, Trent, but as you said in the open, probably some pretty serious butterflies for a preseason game.
Well, it would be, just because there's so much excitement. You know, this is his first time playing in a Chiefs uniform in this stadium. You want to play well. You set the standard pretty high last week with the way he played in New Orleans, so that the fans are excited. Been a lot of anticipation this offseason. Alex has really worked hard over his 8-year career, now coming into his 9th season, having an opportunity to lead the Chiefs, and no better way than to go up against his former team. And even though it is preseason week number 2, he wants to play well.
Number 35 deep for the Chiefs, defensive back Quentin Demps. Hoping to get a chance to return this one as Kansas City again won the toss and will receive. Nice crowd here. Perfect night here in Kansas City. Temperature never got into past 85 today, is that right?
Oh, goodness. It was low 80s. This is beautiful. Like we said,
humidity?
No humidity. This is very uncharacteristic for around here.
Quentin Demps brings it out from 3 yards deep. Demps across the 25-yard line. Tackle made by Dan Skuda. So Alex Smith here is the story tonight, not just because of the number of layers. Yes, drafted #1 by San Francisco, played 8 years, but the way it ended. His time as a starting quarterback, his team was 6-2. He was the #1 ranked quarterback in the National Football League last year at the time of his concussion, completing over 70% of his passes, really playing at the top of his game. Went to the bench, watched Colin Kaepernick play. We'll watch him on the other side of the field tonight. This is the first series for Alex Smith and the Chiefs. The tailback is Niall Davis. To the air, he keeps the completion percentage high. That's Anthony Fasano for a gain of 9. Here are tonight's Truman Medical Center's starting lineups. Up front, Brandon Albert on the left side and Eric Fisher. Little banged up earlier this week with a shoulder and the thumb, but he is the starting right tackle. Jamal Charles, strained foot on Monday at practice, will not play tonight. So Niall Davis, after being the most active running back last week in New Orleans, gets the start tonight. Smith to the air for the second consecutive time. And fires that one away. And his only 2 incompletions of the preseason so far are balls that he chose to throw away.
Well, I like the way they're coming in with this game plan. They had a quick throw on first down. Alex came back, looked to his left, and got back to Anthony Fasano in the middle. This time on 2nd and short, they do a play action and go a rollout, a naked bootleg. And San Francisco does a nice job of covering the fullback, covering Sherman in the flat. Baldwin there is undercut on the outside, and really is a smart decision by Alex to throw the ball away and give yourself a good 3rd and short.
Appears to be a heavy run formation, I backfield. Moiaki in motion, and the rookie Niall Davis, the tailback. There he is off the right side, putting his head down. Going to be close, right at the first down marker. Tackle made by Ray McDonald for the Niners.
Well, this is going to be a great opportunity for Niall Davis, getting a chance to run behind this first-string offensive line, going against a defense like the San Francisco 49ers. They're loaded with Pro Bowlers on that side of the ball, and this will be a good challenge for everybody. You see Fisher there stalemates his defensive end, and Niall is able to get across the 30-yard line and make it close to that first down marker.
See if it's a first down here as the sticks come out. And just to review the Niall Davis story, because he's going to get to quite a few carries here tonight. 2012 had 8 fumbles at Arkansas, including 4 against Alabama. Didn't see the field as much as he wanted to, as you can see here, about a foot short. Missed 2011 because of an ankle injury. Back in 2010, led the SEC in rushing yards.
Here's a preseason move, Paul.
And they're going to go for it from their own 36-yard line.
How about that? Set the tone at home right away. Andy Reid getting the fans going at first chance he gets.
What's your call here? Quarterback sneak?
No, I give it to the young guy.
Give it to Niall again?
Go with an ISO. You got Sherman. You brought in Sherman. You made a trade to Arizona to bring him in. You went out and you got Fasano. Probably motion Moeaki, get a heavy defense. But like I said, this front group for the 49ers is a heck of a defensive front. This will be a good challenge for them.
4th down and about a foot with the Chiefs from their own 36-yard line. Davis cuts it back, spins, and that's enough for a Kansas City first down. Well, he was met in the backfield there, Trent, but nice instincts to make that spin and get his head down and get a couple yards.
Well, we mentioned the strength of the 49ers front seven. You can see they get pushed into the backfield, but nice job by Niall Davis, a rookie with vision, realizing at that first collision he's not going to get it. He just spins off the tackle and is able to pick up the first down. Nice balance and good awareness.
First down and 10 from the 38-yard line. Smith with another inside give, and the Niners there. Justin Smith, former Missouri Tiger, is there right away, and that's a loss of 1.
Well, and that may be something they come back to in the second series. You see how hard Justin crashed from the outside to tackle Niall right as soon as the ball was handed off. That could be a play later on, maybe next series, maybe even later in this drive. Do the same motion, same play, and fake the handoff, and Alex keeps it going around the outside. Pace
of play once again quick here for the Chiefs' first-team offense, just like we saw last week against New Orleans. You have 5 wide receivers, 5 eligible receivers on the field, and getting rid of it quickly is Smith underneath. Intended for the rookie 3rd-round pick out of Cincinnati, Travis Kelce. That was dropped, and it brings up 3rd down 11.
Well, and that's the faith that they have in this group of tight ends. You know, they went out and they traded for Fasano. They drafted Kelce, bringing back Moeaki. You can see this is an accurate throw, and that's Alex trying to protect his receiver instead of leading him into a collision. He's trying to put it on his back hip, and that's something Travis is going to have to learn. Quarterbacks at this level are going to be accurate enough to try and protect the receivers, and that's exactly what Alex was trying to do with that ball placement.
New tailback in the game on an obvious passing situation. The 2nd-year player out of Texas A&M, Cyrus Gray. Smith flushed out of the pocket, and there's Gray. He had his eyes on that first down marker before he had the ball wrapped up.
Well, and he had a step on Bowman, and that's a matchup with the speed that Cyrus Gray has, and you get a matchup one-on-one with the linebacker. Yeah, the play breaks down, and Alex gets outside the pocket. But if he secures this ball, he's going to be able to get up that sideline and pick up the first down just because of his speed and the matchup that he had against Bowman.
So the Chiefs go for it on 4th and less than a yard from their own 36. Now Davis converts it, but on the next couple of downs, drop passes, and now a punt. Colquitt lifts that one high. LaMichael James out of Oregon. Tough time coming down with it. Fair catch on the 25-yard line. We'll get our first look at the Chiefs' first-team defense coming right up. Welcome back to Arrowhead. The Chiefs' offense, no points on that first drive, and there's certain times when a veteran quarterback has to pull his young tight end aside and talk to him about what just happened.
When you can see Alex as he's telling him, you see with his right hand he does that twisting motion, and I mentioned a moment ago that he was trying to protect Kelce with that ball on his back hip, and really with the gesture that Alex gave him, it looks like he was trying to communicate that same thing. Listen, I'm not going to lead you into coverage. I'm not going to lead you into a big collision. Sit down in that hole.
Colin Kaepernick under center, Frank Gore at tailback. That's Bruce Miller in motion. Gore off the right side, nowhere to go, cuts it back, and now he has somewhere to go. First down, and then some for Frank Gore. Frank Gore still on his feet to the 23-yard line. Chiefs initially had him bottled up, Trent. He saw a little opening on the left side, and away he went for 52 yards.
Well, and that's the workhorse that Frank Gore is. He's a guy that just doesn't stop. He keeps his legs moving. That's why he's established himself as one of the best backs in the league, and you can see the backside of the defense collapses too hard, and once there's nowhere for him to go, Frank does a good job of bouncing it backside. That's just the discipline of the defense, being able on that backside to stay home and keep away from that cutback.
Frank Gore getting a rest after going for 52 yards. The tailback now is LaMichael James. First down and 10 from the 23-yard line. Kaepernick to the air for the first time. Here's James on the screen. Nice job of sniffing that one out, and making the tackle is Justin Houston. Loss of 3 for the Niners. Starting lineups for the Chiefs defense. Up front, Dontari Poe, the 2nd-year player, the first-round pick from last year. Derek Johnson coming off back-to-back Pro Bowl seasons on the inside there for Kansas City. And the veteran on the outside, Brandon Flowers. And the veteran new acquisition, Sean Smith, brought in from Miami during free agent season. Frank Gore now back into the lineup on 2nd down and 13. Couldn't cut it back that time. Making the tackle, Akeem Jordan, and that's a gain of 2.
Nice job by Jackson coming down on the outside. You see him maintaining leverage on the outside. Instead of it coming flat, he's able to not give Frank Gore the ability to cut back. Good discipline and keeping him hemmed in, so he has to go forward as opposed to bouncing around the outside.
3rd down 11, a situation where Bob Sutton, new defensive coordinator, will bring one of those many blitzes during the regular season. We'll see how much pressure they put on Colin Kaepernick here in game number 2 of the preseason. They do bring pressure. Kaepernick with time. And he had an open Chad Hall. Just missed him. Dante Robinson with the coverage.
Oh, you just mentioned, Paul, about Bob Sutton and the pressure he's going to bring. You can see here 6 defenders coming, so that means man-to-man. And Kaepernick does a nice job of finding the matchup he wanted. Isolate Dante Robinson. There was nobody else back there. It's all man-to-man. You're rushing 6 guys. It just was overthrown. Good job collapsing that pocket, putting a little bit of pressure. I'm sure Tom Ali breathing down the backside makes you a little nervous as well.
Veteran Phil Dawson for a 42-yard field goal attempt. Thought about pushing that one wide, but it snuck in. And the Niners take a 3-0 lead. San Francisco on their very first play. Frank Gore goes 52 yards. 9:52 left. They're up 3. Phil Dawson, 42-yard field goal, and the Niners lead 3-0. Alex Smith went 1 for 4 on drive number 1. He threw 1 pass away and had 2 drops, so his numbers not as bad as, or his play not as bad as the numbers would indicate. Saw him out of the field talking to his old head coach, Jim Harbaugh, before the game. Just looked like a couple of old friends talking. There were hugs, there were smiles, easy conversation.
Well, you know, and that's the way Alex is such a good guy. And he kept the high road the entire time last season as the team was making their Super Bowl run. And that's really what you're going to expect out of Alex. And you know, I'm sure that relationship ended well, and you could see him catch it up before the game.
Quentin Depps with a sprint. 1 man to beat for Quentin Depps. No flags, touchdown Chiefs. ...104 yards.
Nice job by Demps. You can see he finds the lane. Great blocking. He barely gets touched as he's going through that crease. And then it's just a foot race with Paris Cox. And Cox looks like he may be able to get his leg on the backside, but Demps a week ago had 1 return for 26 yards. This time, as you said, Paul, 104 and taken to the house.
Coach Tobe has to be excited with the special teams. Remember last week in New Orleans, Nile Davis had a 79-yard kickoff return. Now Quentin Depps, 104 yards for the touch. Ryan Suckup up and in. And the special teams off to a tremendous start, not only tonight, but in this preseason. Quentin Depps with the first touchdown of the night. And the Chiefs with a 7-3 lead. There's the alley. The sprint led to a touch. Well, the fans inside Arrowhead just calming down after Quentin Depps' 104-yard kickoff return for a touchdown.
You can see the lane that opens up for Quentin Depps. Nice job blocking. Nobody's going to touch him as he's running through this lane. Good wall. 1 defender maybe gets an arm on him right there, and that's all they had to try and slow him up. Great job by the blocking unit. Once again, special teams coordinator Dave Tobe has to be very happy with his return team.
Quentin Depps, familiar with Andy Reid from an earlier part of his career, 4th-round selection for Philadelphia back in 2008. Played for the Eagles in 08 and 09, then the last 3 years in Houston. 6 years in the NFL, no starts. Really made it by virtue of being a good player on special teams and flexing those muscles there right now. LaMichael James, young player out of Oregon, just across the 25-yard line. Return of 30. So the Chiefs defense will see if they can get off. And there's Dave Tobe, the new special teams coordinator. He spent last year in Chicago, one of the most respected special teams coordinators in the National Football League. And got to be happy with the special teams play here tonight. Well, Chiefs defense did not get off to a great start there earlier, Trent. Frank Gore, 52-yard run on the very first carry. So I'm sure they've been woken up on the sideline and a little more excited for this series.
Well, and they responded well by holding them to a field goal. That's a demoralizing first play. It takes the energy out of the stadium, but they did a good job holding their ground. They held them to just a field goal attempt. And, of course, the special team steps up and gets them the lead.
I hope you got a good look at Colin Kaepernick because he is done for the Knights. There's Colt McCoy coming over from the Cleveland Browns in the offseason. LaMichael James picks up 5 yards.
I think that's an interesting call, taking Kaepernick out. This is the second preseason game. We thought we would see a lot more of the starters. I don't want to anticipate that anything happened. You can't imagine. He didn't really. I don't remember him even getting hit that much in that first series. So this is just an opportunity for Colt McCoy to get in and play with some of the starters on the San Francisco team. But hopefully this is something that the Chiefs defense can take advantage of.
McCoy pressured and down he goes. Hakeem Jordan from his linebacker spot with a sack for the KC defense.
And I'm glad Hakeem Jordan was listening to me say the defense can take advantage of Colt McCoy, and that's exactly what they did. He goes through. Running back misses him. He comes through on a delayed blitz right up the middle. Guard doesn't see him. Running back misses him, and he's able to hang on to Colt McCoy's leg and bring him down.
Well, I mentioned a moment ago that Quentin Demps, who scored the touchdown, was familiar with Andy Reid in Philadelphia. Hakeem Jordan also. His previous 6 years in the NFL, all coming with the Philadelphia Eagles. 3rd down and 10. Chiefs bring 5. McCoy with time. Excellent job of coverage by Sean Smith. You hear about the long reach and the wingspan. We saw it play out on the field right there.
Well, you see he's in press coverage right here, and talking to Sean Smith a week ago, he said how he likes Bob Sutton's defense because of the pressure, because he gets to be more physical. 6'3", 218-pound corner that can change direction and have speed in the open field. He's a nice addition for the Chiefs. That time he comes up big by planting that right leg, coming up and knocking the ball down.
Also got to like his durability. Started all 16 games in each of the last 2 years in Miami. Penalty flag is down. The Andy Lee punt shanked a little bit.
That was nice of you. A little bit? A little bit.
A subjective call on the level of shank there, yes.
I don't even know. Did it go 20? There, let's see. Great. 10, yeah, a little bit over 20.
21 yards, just a little, little over. We do have the penalty marker on the 23.
Illegal formation, 6 men on the line of scrimmage, offense. That 5-yard penalty will be enforced from the end of the kick. Be a 5-yard timeout.
Chiefs going to have excellent field position starting in Niner territory. They lead 7-3. The special teams unit of Chiefs special teams coordinator Dave Tobe off to a great start, specifically those return units. Last week, Dexter McCluster goes 55 yards, and they weren't done inside the Superdome. Rookie Nile Davis, 79 yards, and it got better tonight. Moments ago here inside Arrowhead Stadium, that's Quentin Demps, and there he goes, barely touched. Excellent blocking, and he turns on the speed. 104-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. And that's what's happened in the preseason. Dave Tobe got to be proud. There he is right there. First season with the Chiefs after spending the previous few with the Chicago Bears. Now Davis is the tailback to the right of Alex Smith. This is 1st down and 10 from the 42. Smith in trouble. And I believe they're going to call in at the grasp. Parrish Cox coming in untouched.
You see Parrish Cox coming off the top of your screen over to the left, and nobody blocks him. That's either got to be the responsibility of Alex Smith because it's a hot defender and the receiver's got to break off his route, or Brandon Albert turned down as opposed to blocking out and stepping out and picking him up. So there's still a little bit of confusion early in the preseason with that protection call.
And that's a loss of 10 to bring up 2nd down 20. Now Davis off the right side, tripped up early. And that Niner defense, one of the best in the NFL last year. There to hold him to a gain of 1. So a sack for a loss of 10, a rush for a gain of 1. It'll be 3rd down 19.
Well, we were so impressed with the offensive line and the first string offensive line a week ago and their ability. You can see here there's not much of a lane for Nile Davis to go through. The 49ers do a good job of closing things off and forcing him into a position he didn't want to be in. He kept looking for a crease, there was just nowhere to go.
You got a play call on 3rd down and 20?
Screen or draw. That's about what you got.
Anthony Pisano in short motion. Smith underneath to Nile Davis, and the Niner defense doing a good job bringing him down right after the catch. Nate Stubar, and that's a gain of 6. And the initial 1st down and 10 play, which was a 10-yard sack by Parrish Cox, really cost Alex Smith and the Chiefs there.
Well, and it's disappointing when you think about the field position that the Chiefs had right after that shanked punt from San Francisco, getting the ball at the San Francisco 42-yard line. As you mentioned, that breakdown in protection, whether that was Alex not being aware of what was going on from a hot standpoint or Brandon Albert not turning out to block the defender.
Dustin Colquitt punting to LaMichael James. Fair catch at the 9-yard line. Alex Smith back to the sideline. We'll look forward to seeing him again. He's expected to play the entire first half, and there's the life of a gunner in the preseason. That's Jaleel Brown. Can't make all the games at Arrowhead? The Pick 5 plan, the divisional 3-pack or 2-pack might be just for you. Visit kcchiefs.com to make your choice today or contact the Chiefs ticket office right now at 888-99-CHIEFS. Quentin Demp's 104-yard kickoff return for a touchdown a little while ago here in the first quarter, and it's 7-3. Chiefs on top. Michael James is the tailback behind Colt McCoy. Chiefs starting defense still in. We expect to see them throughout the first half. McCoy can't get the ball until he had to scoop it up and just fall on it. Dontari Poe will get credit for a tackle there. This is actually Scott Tolzien, the 3rd-team quarterback out of Wisconsin.
This is an interesting rotation that the 49ers are having. I don't know if they're trying to give all the quarterbacks different snaps, different groupings with offensive linemen, backs, receivers, how it may be. Maybe just see how they handle the pressure.
We saw Colin Kaepernick for 1 series, Colt McCoy for 1 series, and now Scott Tolzien taking his turn. Dontari Poe making the tackle of LaMichael James, and that's a gain of 8. Let's check in on the sideline with Rachel Sanchi.
So Jamal, everybody wants to know, how's your foot?
I mean, it's a day-to-day thing, you know what I'm saying? It's getting better every day, so I'm just have to see when we start practice on Sunday how I feel, because I'm going to try to get ready, get my body back ready and back in shape.
So let's talk about the offense. Coach Reed is known for running a West Coast offense. How are you adapting to that?
Man, I just adapted to who I am. I'm a player, and I got to, whatever the coach call, I got to go out there and make plays. That's my job. That's what I get paid for. They go out there and pay my own bills. I got to go out there and execute all the plays he called. Don't matter if it's the East Coast, West Coast, and also I got to go out there and run the plays to my ability.
Thank you, Jamal. Thank you so much.
All right, Rachel. Jamal, thank you. And Scott Tolzien almost intercepted there by Dante Robinson. And Jamal Charles, a big focus this week after he had that strained foot on Monday at camp. Missed practice all week and on the sideline here tonight.
Well, on 3rd down, Bob Sutton's done a nice job of changing things up. Earlier, he showed an all-out blitz and put everybody in man-to-man. Then on the 2nd, 3rd down that the 49ers had, he went to a zone blitz where he dropped Tamba into coverage. That time there, he rushed 4, dropped 7, and almost got the interception.
Penalty marker down. Nice return. Nice job of avoiding a couple of tackles there by Dexter McCluster. Again, there is a penalty marker down. Tackle made by Michael Wilhoitz of the 49ers. There's Andy Reid with the special teams coordinator Dave Tobe. As we wait for the call on the penalty.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 30 of the kicking team. Number 30 went out of bounds and did not make an immediate attempt to come back inbounds. That's a 15-yard penalty, will be enforced from the end of the run. 1st down.
To the left side of the screen is where you're going to see Tolzien is throwing. He throws the ball behind the receiver, and Dante Robinson has an opportunity to pick that. Not sure if he'll score with the receiver right behind him, but good awareness on his part. As you can see, he's driving on the ball and was kind of caught by surprise that that ball was that far behind the receiver. As I said, nice job by Bob Sutton mixing it up. The first time it was an all-out blitz, went to a zone blitz, second down. That time dropping 7 into coverage. So that play call may have been for an all-out blitz. You see all slants on a 3rd and 8, anticipating man-to-man coverage across the board.
Anthony Sherman in at fullback. Now Davis at tailback. Here's Davis off the left side. Cuts it back for a gain of 3. So Alex Smith, Trent, I was looking at everything he'd done in the NFL since coming in 2005. Really 3 phases to his career, I think. Those first 3 seasons, he struggled, more interceptions than touchdowns. The Niners struggled, more losses than wins. Then he missed a season for injury. 2009, 2010, he played pretty well, kind of quietly. Then the last 2 years, he's been one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. 19-5-1, and a touchdown to interception ratio of 3-1, which is good for anybody.
Well, and that just shows how he's matured and how he's developed in the league. You become more aware of what defenses are doing, what you want to do as a quarterback, how you are as a quarterback, your personality as a quarterback, how you want to lead a team. Those are all things that develop. And when you think Alex Smith early in his career, as you mentioned, a number of different offensive coordinators and head coaches, but he's settled in. And when you talk about Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Matt Schaub, Matt Ryan, these are the guys that a lot of people are talking about in the league that are your perennial Pro Bowl guys, the guys that are making those big money contracts, the guys that are getting the wins on Sunday. And Alex Smith is right in that argument. You can see where his record stands over the last couple of seasons compared to those guys. Now
Davis with a couple of runs there, and now it's 3rd down and 3 from the 44-yard line. Smith steps up into the pocket. There's Dexter McCluster, and there's a Kansas City first down. Savvy move by Smith to hang in that pocket, and Dexter McCluster has a first down after a gain of 10.
When San Francisco is only going to rush 4 and drop 7 into coverage, you see Dexter does a nice job of recognizing the zone, sitting down in the hole, and the offensive line gave protection enough for Alex to let him find that crease. You know, you talk about size, you talk about movement, and Dexter McCluster is going to be that guy in the slot that can be a quick change of direction guy, but that time he was aware to sit down in the zone.
Dwayne Bowe in motion, yet to catch a pass here in the preseason. They haven't thrown one his way. Smith to the end zone. There was some contact there as he looked for John Baldwin. No flag, and it'll be 2nd down 10.
You're going to see John Baldwin coming from your left. It's a hard play action pass, and then you're going to see Dwayne Bowe coming from the right on a deeper drag. Baldwin going down the middle on a deep post. The safety jumps both of them, and then you can see there's a little contact there and a trip. Alex just trying to take a shot.
Baldwin hasn't caught a pass yet in the preseason. Bowe hasn't. Donnie Avery has not. This is 2nd down and 10. There's Nile Davis. Turning that corner. Putting the head down. Nice piece of running. Tackle made by Craig Dahl. The rookie 3rd-round selection, though. Nile Davis gets 6.
See Davis doing a little counter step to the right. That's the old fullback dish play. You see the fullback running off to the right. Alex turns, acts like he's going to do that, and then he does the quick flip to the running back to try and get that defensive end to collapse. That's exactly what happened, giving Davis a chance to get outside.
3rd down and 4. Alex has 4 wide receivers, 2 to his left, 2 to his right, and Cyrus Gray at the tailback. Smith to his left wanted John Baldwin. He wasn't open. Ball thrown out of bounds, and it'll be 4th and 4. Nnamdi Asomugha with the coverage for San Francisco.
Well, there's 2 ways to look at this. You got man-to-man coverage, and so in your mind, there's 2 ways to think of it as a quarterback. Either you can go a safer route. You have Dexter McCluster underneath on a quick out route. Take that, potentially pick up the first down, or you got your big wide receiver on the outside one-on-one. You're giving him a chance to win. It's the preseason. You're in the red zone. You want to give him a jump ball down the sideline. Baldwin just didn't win, and that was Alex's choice, because if you go to the outside, you don't have time to get back and take that out route.
47 yards for Ryan Succop. No problem at all. Right down the middle, plenty of distance. He was 2 for 2 last week. He is now 1 for 1 tonight. The special teams putting points on the board for the Chiefs here in the first quarter. Quentin Demps had the 104-yard kickoff return for a score, and now Succop with a 47-yard field goal, and it's 10-3. Be sure to pick up the 2014 Chiefs cheerleader swimsuit calendar. It features all 33 Chiefs cheerleaders and was shot in beautiful St. Thomas. This is the perfect gift for all Chiefs fans, so go ahead and pick up a copy today. Get your calendar at kcchiefs.com. Seen a lot of green swimsuits there, Trent. Is that any correlation?
No.
No, just a...
No, green's an in color, I guess. I don't know. It's good to be green, I guess.
I would say so. Doug Peterson, offensive coordinator for the Chiefs, on the sideline with his quarterbacks there. All four of them, Ricky Stanzi and Tyler Bray. We'll hope to see them later in the second half. We will see Chase Daniel there right now with Doug Peterson early in that second half. And Alex Smith in that first-team offense failing to score a touchdown here tonight. That was a field goal drive, though, as Alex and Andy Reid discussed things on the sideline.
Well, Paul, it was interesting. You mentioned that all four quarterbacks were standing around Doug Peterson, and then Andy came over and wanted to talk to Alex one-on-one, so they went over to have a conversation, and I'm sure it was on some of the topics that I touched on that last play. It's about matchups. The National Football League, as you know, Paul, is about matchups and trying to find what your matchups are going to be, and knowing the third down, the down in the distance, and as we mentioned, Dexter underneath and Baldwin going down the sideline. I'm sure that was part of that conversation.
Well, Michael James out to the 23-yard line. Let's check in on the sideline with Rachel Sanchi.
Yeah, Eric Fisher was over here on the sidelines. The trainers were looking at his right hand, and he's now been taken down to the locker room.
Okay, Rachel, thank you. And we saw a similar situation last week. Eric went to the locker room to have x-rays. Had the sore thumb, the sore shoulder. Again, he missed practice on Monday. But he is now back on the field. And there he is. Started at right tackle in both of the preseason games, the #1 selection out of Central Michigan. And we'll see if he comes back into the game. Rotating quarterbacks for the Niners. Brandon Flowers there to make a nice stop. You see Justin Houston. Chiefs defense throws James for a loss of 2. So there is Eric Fisher having that hand looked at.
And that is the orthopedic surgeon for the Kansas City Chiefs that's looking at the hand. It looks like they may be taping it up or doing something with it. So it doesn't appear that Eric looks like he's in too much pain. So knowing offensive lineman mentality, it's probably no big deal at all.
Michael James shut down right away. Mike DeVito, the Jet for 6 years, now in his first season with the Chiefs. Gain of 1.
What a huge amount of respect Mike DeVito has around the locker room. You can see him here at point of attack, shedding the block, getting the running back from behind, bringing him down. But we had a chance to talk to Mike up at training camp before they came down here to Kansas City, and he's just been a great addition to the locker room. He's a guy that's just a professional. The coaches, the other players, they say he shows up every day and you know what you're going to get because he's a pro.
Third down 11 for Colt McCoy. Chiefs bring only 4, and McCoy going to keep it himself. And he has a San Francisco first down. Gain of 13 on third down. So the Niners with an interesting, and there is Eric Fisher once again having that right hand looked at. #1 overall selection from this year's draft. But the Niners at quarterback, who could have predicted this trend? You had Colin Kaepernick for 1 series, Colt McCoy for a series, Scott Tolzien for a series, and now they go back to the #2 quarterback, Colt McCoy, for his 2nd series.
Well, Tolzien had the fumbled snap and he had the near interception, so just trying to get something positive going for San Francisco. But Chiefs did a good job on the first 2 downs of that series. Then on 3rd and long, they had great coverage down the field. Just Colt McCoy got out of the pocket.
A couple of first-round picks for the Chiefs on that tackle, Dontari Poe and Derek Johnson. The first quarter is over, and the Chiefs lead 10-3. We start the second quarter with the Chiefs on top, 10-3. The family you recognize there, Trent?
Yeah, good-looking crew there, good-looking crew. My oldest turned 16 today, so they all came out to the game and brought some friends with them.
What kind of car did you get him?
He got my used truck.
There you go. That's a way to do it. It's 2nd down and 5. The Chiefs defense stepping up there. Michael James. No gain. Justin Houston. We've called his name a couple times here tonight, coming off his first Pro Bowl. 3rd-year player out of Georgia.
Well, Justin Houston and Tamba Hali, they're going to have a presence. A year ago, the two combined for 19 sacks, bringing pressure off the edges. There's going to be a lot more pressure this year. Bob Sutton wants to run a more pressure-oriented defense, and when you have guys coming off the edge like that, and with the improvement of Dontari Poe dropping the 15 to 20 pounds, pushing the middle of the pocket, you're not going to give quarterbacks room to step up.
Chiefs bring pressure here on 3rd and 5. Colt McCoy steps up. He has room to run. And for the second time in a row on 3rd and long, well, 3rd and 5, not exactly 3rd and long, but he picks up a Niners first down with his feet. Gain of 14.
Well, once again, it's good coverage downfield, and there's nowhere for McCoy to go with the ball. You can see the twist by the inside backers, Barry actually being one of the backers. The problem with that is you leave a lane for Colt to get out. There was nowhere for him to go, but then once that side was collapsed where the twist came from, McCoy was able to sneak out to his left and pick up another first down with his feet.
Did it before on 3rd down and 10, does it again on 3rd and 5. Jewel Hampton, the tailback now on 1st and 10 from the 42. McCoy wanted to go right, comes back to his left. Tamba Hali there to make the tackle of Hampton. And that's a gain of 6. You mentioned how Justin Houston and Tamba Hali going to have to work to come up, pressure off the edge. I was looking at what Justin did his first 2 years and what Tamba did earlier in his career. They each in their first 2 seasons, 15.5 sacks. And Tamba Hali now 4th in Chiefs history in sacks. He's blown way past that 15.5. But the exact same production through 2 years.
Well, and Tamba brings such great tempo and great attitude to his passer. He's just so persistent, and so his attitude just to get after the ball carrier, get after the quarterback, and you can see Justin has that same mentality.
He won't get credit for the tackle there, but you see how he stayed strong against the block and forced that back inside, and the Chiefs' pursuit there was there to make the tackle, Dontari Poe.
Well, Tyson Jackson here to the bottom of your screen just stretches that out there, and there's really no lane for the running back to cut back, and Jordan and Dontari Poe were able to make that tackle, but good job by that defensive front line to move it, stretch that. You don't want to give the back a lane to cut back into.
3rd down and 4 now. Bob Sutton's defense showing blitz. They bring 5. McCoy throwing inaccurately, and the rush. We'll give the rush the credit there on making him throw that one a little bit early, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, they did. They bring pressure, and they make McCoy throw the ball more quickly than he wants to. You can see they rush 5 and drop 6. One of the defenders from the defensive line is up there, ends up dropping out. You can see the linebacker right on it. That's DJ, and Eric Berry's covering the tight end, and he's able to cut off that angle, and McCoy doesn't have time and has to throw it high.
Phil Dawson 1 for 1 tonight. This one will be from 55 yards. Earlier he connected from 42. 55 yards, no issues at all. Phil Dawson is 2 for 2, and the Chiefs' lead is now 4. Phil Dawson just kicked his 2nd field goal for the 49ers, and Kansas City leads 10-6. We invite you to be a part of the broadcast tonight via Twitter. Send us your thoughts. You can send us your pictures via Instagram. #ChiefsKingdom. We'll sort through all the thoughts you share, and we'll share the best ones throughout the evening. A couple of injuries for Andy Reid's Chiefs. The rookie 3rd-round selection tight end Travis Kelce out of Cincinnati has a bruised knee, and we saw the 1st overall pick Eric Fisher having his hand looked at. No official word on that injury yet. Devin Wiley, 2nd-year player out of Fresno State, going to bring it from 7 yards deep. Gets out just to the 22-yard line. I always say if you're going to bring it out from that deep, you better get at least to the 20-yard line.
You better get it across the 20, but Alex Smith coming onto the field again, and he's been throwing a few balls over here on the sideline. I wouldn't be surprised if they go to more of an up-tempo offense. I know they did a lot of that last week against New Orleans. Even though they were only in the one series, the other offenses, the other groups that came in, they went a lot more up-tempo. So starting off in the huddle here, I wouldn't be surprised if they try changing the tempo up just because the offense stalled a little bit and they want to change things up.
Yeah, the 1 touchdown for Kansas City tonight coming from the special teams. Quentin Demps in the 1st quarter with a 104-yard score on a kick return. Out of the backfield to Al Davis. Has some room to run, and that's a nice first down play. Swing it out to the rookie. That's Smith to Davis for a gain of 8.
And that almost looked like Alex recognized that blitz. You could see him changing the play in the line of scrimmage, checking into something, and obviously when they did come with the pressure, he was able to dump it off to Davis.
Second down and 2 from the Chiefs' 29-yard line.
And we've been discussing Eric Fisher, and we also showed him on the sideline with the hand being looked at by the doctors. And he is back in, playing at right tackle. Smith with a nice pocket. And John Baldwin had that one right between the 8 and the 9 and couldn't catch it.
Well, that's the third time that Alex Smith has targeted John Baldwin and has yet to come up with a catch. That one there obviously was the best opportunity that he had to make the catch.
John Baldwin, the former first-round selection of the Chiefs, has flashed a lot of potential to go along with the inconsistency, and unfortunately right there we saw some of the inconsistency playing out on second down. This is 3rd down and 2, empty backfield. Smith underneath. Anthony Fasano, first down Chiefs. Anthony Fasano did the regular season in his career 5 catches and 4 going for touchdowns. So he enjoys catching the ball here inside Arrowhead Stadium. First down and 10, Kansas City from the 35. And the man right between Trent and I, the 99th overall selection from the 1984 draft.
Hey, Paul,
linebacker out of UConn. I guess we should introduce you as the Chiefs general manager, John Dorsey. Thanks for coming up.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you. This is a fantastic view right here.
This is as good as it gets.
It really is.
That's a good-looking screen set up to the rookie Al Davis. First down, Kansas City inside San Francisco territory. And that's a Chief gain of 17 as we watch Al Davis do work. Tell us about what you liked about him so much to select him in that 3rd round.
Well, when you had the combination of his size and speed, you know, we all know that he had a little bit of some issues last year, but when you go watch him earlier on in his career, he showed you the dynamics of the size and the speed that he possesses, and he's had a really nice first quarter here.
And he must have had a nice camp. He is the man filling in behind Jamal Charles. This is Cyrus Gray trying to cut it back in, brought down for a short gain. That is a gain of 1. So plenty to like about the Chiefs game tonight. Why don't we start with what has impressed you the most, the #1 impression from the first home preseason game here this season?
Well, the fans. You know, you've heard so much about the fans and how passionate they have been, and you can see that and you can feel that. The impressions on the field was the consistency of the defense, getting out on 3rd and critical situations, and on the offensive side of the ball, you know, we've had protection for Alex, and he's made some really nice throws.
Cyrus Gray for the 2nd consecutive play, and the Niners defense doing a nice job there. So
there's been a lot of talk about the offensive line, about the youth of the offensive line, and I think we saw on the last screenplay what that youth brings. They bring some athleticism. Jeff Allen getting out in space, John Asamoah getting out in space.
Correct.
That's an important part of what you want these guys to do.
Right. Yeah, Andy likes to, he likes to operate some screen, some screen packages in his games, and you need to have some versatile, athletic offensive linemen to execute those screen plays. And I think Eric, once you see Eric move in space, he does a wonderful job.
3rd down and 7 now. 4 eligible receivers here for Alex Smith. Make that 5. Looking to his right side under pressure. And wanted Anthony Fasano. He was flushed out of the pocket to the right side, which led to some inaccuracy, and it will be 4th down and 7. And as I think back to your playing career, John, as I mentioned, a 4th-round selection of the Green Bay Packers in 1984. You played for 5 seasons, which is a very nice career for someone coming out of UConn. Do you find yourself, while you were #1 evaluating your entire team, kind of relating to those players fighting for backup spots and also fighting to look good on special teams?
I mean, absolutely. You understand the little things that you really can't see, through the camera lens. I mean, it's the intuitive, instinctive feel that those guys have down on the field. I've always said, when you go and cross that white line, it's a different type of game. It does help me, in my perspective as being a general manager, get an understanding of what goes on in that locker room.
Penalty marker down on the 41-yard line as the officiating crew will sort through it. We'll wait for the call. And it's going to be against
Chiefs fans are
the Chiefs.
feeling lucky? Purchase your 50/50
And I would imagine it's also fairly easy to, I don't want to say fall for a guy, but really appreciate what a player is doing. Again, because you did it for 5 years with the Packers, those guys really battling for the backup positions and for any spot on the 53.
Yeah, that was 30 years ago. The game has dramatically changed 30 years from now. But what you cannot do is become emotionally invested in the player. You have to see the facts that are on the field, and that's how they execute on a game day, and that's how you have to execute that.
And as we go to break, look at that guy. You said
Nice
it was 30
haircut.
years ago? Look at that fit, athletic young
You
star.
like that haircut, don't you?
Chiefs General Manager John Dorsey, thank you very
It's
much.
embarrassing.
That looks good. The Chiefs are excited to announce that a 50-50 raffle will take place at every Chiefs home game during the 2013 season. This in-stadium fundraiser gives one lucky fan a chance to take home half of the jackpot and also benefits a deserving local charity. Visit Arrowhead Stadium this season for your chance to win. Jewel Hampton with the carry, no gain.
Hakeem Jordan, a nice job on the wrap-up there, getting him in the backfield and not letting go of him. Tolzien is back in the game now, so they're just playing musical chairs between McCoy and Tolzien.
So the only quarterback for the Niners without multiple series here tonight is Colin Kaepernick. Saw him just for the first series, and it's been Tolzien and McCoy sharing the load since. Timeout on the field, 8:28 left till halftime. The Chiefs, under Andy Reid's leadership, leading by. Let's take a look at the Hy-Vee drive of the half. Hy-Vee, a helpful smile in every aisle. I don't know if we can officially count this as a drive, but it's a score, Trent. It's the one touchdown the Chiefs have tonight, and it was an impressive one. Quentin Depps from 104 yards away.
Those are the best kind of scoring drives. What do you mean, Paul? It's the best kind of scoring drive. You buckle up and then you unbuckle and say, good job.
Just cheer from the sideline there as a quarterback. Quarterback for San Francisco is Scott Tolzien, and the tailback, Jewel Hampton. Tolzien to his left, working on Sean Smith. He had a nice breakup earlier, and that's a late flag coming in. Are they going to get him for interference there?
That's a terrible call. That ball was short and inside.
That's interference. Number 27, defense. First down.
Take a look here. Trent says it's a terrible call. I think I'm going to agree with that.
You know, we saw a week ago Drew Brees. This is something they like to do in New Orleans. They throw that high and outside. Tolzien throws it low and inside. Yeah, I don't. Was there contact? Yes. Was it pass interference? No.
First down and 10 is the result at the 40-yard line. Tyson Jackson in pursuit and forces Tolzien to throw it away. Another flag down, and they're going to get Tyson Jackson for roughing the passer.
No foul, roughing the passer, number 94, defense. Late hit to the quarterback. 15-yard penalty, first down.
We'll take a look at this one and see if the call is justified.
Well, nice job by Jackson coming off the edge and maintaining outside presence, so there's nowhere for him to go with the ball.
All right, former quarterback, good call or no?
I'm saying no. He takes 1, 2, step and a half. He's not hitting him up in the head, the neck area. I don't know. I got hit a lot like that.
Right? Without the flag.
Exactly.
Coming raining in. Now it's 1st and 10 on the 45. 2 penalties in a row. One on Sean Smith for pass interference, and then the play that just happened, Tyson Jackson for roughing the passer. Jewel Hampton breaks a couple of tackles. And finally brought down by Tamba Hali, and that's a Niner gain of 6.
Well, to answer your question, Paul, I can actually show you a scar on my chin. That same exact thing, except, you know, the rule of the helmet to the head?
Right.
Kevin Green. Remember Kevin Green,
Yes.
for the Steelers in Carolina? Yeah, he planted his helmet right underneath my chin, causing me to go to the sideline and get a couple stitches. No penalty at all. So it's the same exact. I know they're protecting the quarterbacks more, but I still don't think that was.
Those rushers who were like 6'1", 6'2", their helmet just fit perfectly right under your chin, right?
Yes, they did.
Scott Tolzien with time underneath. Nice job by Eric Berry. the All-Pro performer for the Chiefs. That's just a gain of 3. I wonder how they're going to use him. Bob Sutton, with all these non-traditional aggressive defenses, he has a nice toy to play with there at number 29.
Well, and we've seen him line up in a couple of different spots. Here he's covering the tight end going across the field. On an earlier third down, he was playing inside linebacker because they were in a nickel and dime defense where you bring in extra defenders. This time here you can see he's lined up in the box. He's lined up over the tight end. But they're going to move him all over the place because he's that type of athlete.
Third down and a yard. The Chiefs defense stepping up. There he is. 29 again, Eric Berry in the backfield for a loss of 2.
And that's why you use him so many different ways. He's lined up as the safety on this one. Outside presence on the tight end. He has outside contain as this thing bounces out. Nice job cutting off the lane for the running back and, of course, securing the tackle on a key third down stop.
It's almost like someone tapped him on the shoulder or sent him a signal from the sideline and said, the guys in the booth are speaking really well of you right now. You might want to make a play.
That's right. Or 2 in a row, right?
No gain there. 4th down and 3. Tolzien has time, and that one nearly intercepted by Dante Robinson. Chiefs defensive backs coming up big there on those last 3 plays. And on 4th down, Bob Sutton's defense holds. 6:13 left until halftime. The Chiefs lead 10-6. Dante Robinson, moments after stopping that Niners drive, almost coming up with an interception, spending time with the medical staff with the sideline.
1st and 10, Kansas City from the Chiefs 39.
And here is the last play. Comes down hard on that shoulder. Keep an eye on that one. Nile Davis, the rookie out of Arkansas, is the tailback, and he gets it right up the middle for a gain of 2.
Tackled by Nick Mooney.
And there's Dante Robinson again. He was able to celebrate the fact that the Chiefs, he hits that right shoulder area right there in the celebration. But he made the play to stop San Francisco on 4th down there and give the ball back to Alex Smith. Looked like he had time there initially, Trent, but he didn't like what he saw.
Yeah, he didn't. He lined up and planted that back foot like he was going to fire it and maybe hit a back shoulder throw or maybe lay it to the sideline. I don't know if the defender that was on the blitz that jumped from the outside caused him to lose vision of where he wanted to go with the ball, but you're right, Paul. He looked as if he was planning to let go of the ball.
Coming up on 3rd down and 10, Alex Smith now for the evening is 6 out of 13 for 55 yards. A couple of throwaways, a couple of drops. Certainly a passing situation here. And again under pressure, buys some extra time. Going to keep it himself and does not have enough room to pick up the 1st down. Alex Smith picks up 7 yards on 3rd down and 10.
Well, just as he did on 1st down, you can see he gets a quick away from the snap and he steps and throws or attempts to throw but pulls it back down, and that's something that usually isn't part of his game, being indecisive. Normally if he's going to make a decision, he's quick getting the ball out of his hand, and that time, just like on 1st down, he pulled the ball down and didn't go with the throw.
Parrish Cox, he has a sack already tonight. Now back to receive. Dustin Colquitt lifting that one high above Arrowhead Stadium. And that is pretty. You can't do it any better. It's like he's playing balada with the golf ball there. Just kind of drops it softly inside the 5. That's a punt of 53 yards down at the 3-yard line.
Well, and that's what he's known for. You go back to last year and he put up, I think it was 55 punts inside the 20-yard line, and it was last week against New Orleans. He had a 46 gross. He had a 42 net. He does such a great job, and that's why he was rewarded in the offseason, with the new contract.
We saw him in the tunnel before the game, and what'd you say to him? It looks like he's been working out in the weight room a little too much time on his hands.
He's been working out. He's got a big old truck now, so he's trying to get more into the hunting mode, and he's doing well. He's happy to sign long term. He wants to be here in Kansas City.
Colt McCoy back in at quarterback. And under 5 minutes now in the 2nd quarter, resetting the stories here tonight. Number 1, the man you just saw on the sideline, Jamal Charles. The Chiefs running back Tremendous year last year coming off the torn ACL. Strained his foot in training camp practice on Monday. A lot of speculation about whether he would play tonight. Well, as you can see, not playing tonight, much more of a precautionary move as opposed to a serious injury. You get the feeling if it was a regular season game, he'd probably be in the lineup.
You think that's what the coaching staff, they've talked about if it was regular season. There's really no reason to push it. You know, he was conditioning when the team was still up in St. Joe. They have a giant grass hill there that a lot of players work out on, and he was working out on that hill. And I would get the indication if he's on that at that angle, his foot must have been feeling decent. But no reason to push it and come in here tonight and cause a setback that could carry over to the regular season.
Well, a year ago right now, Trent, we were speculating, we were wondering how's he going to look coming off that torn ACL. He was fantastic last year, over 1,500 yards.
If it wasn't for the guy up the road in Minnesota, 1,500 yards coming off an ACL is a tremendous comeback. But with Adrian Peterson, great interception.
Sean Smith, they've been working on him here in the second quarter. He was not fooled there. The acquisition from the Dolphins in the offseason coming up with his first INT of the preseason.
And Sean talked about liking the bump and run coverage. That time, you know, they got away with that cheap pass interference call earlier when they tried throwing short and inside. This time Sean gets his head around, locates the ball, and is able to come up with the interception, giving the offense great field position here right before the half.
And upgrading the cornerback position, clearly a priority for first-year general manager John Dorsey in the offseason. The first week of the league year, and that was back in the second week of March, they signed Sean Smith and also get Dante Robinson within 2 days of each other. Now Davis, the tailback, Alex Smith back into quarterback, looking to lead the offense to their first touchdown tonight. And Smith had no chance, and that's just an athletic move getting away, and a late flag is going to be roughing the passer. The one against Tyson Jackson earlier, this one going to go against the Niners defense.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 63 defense. Contact to the quarterback's head. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Tony Gerard Eddy with the late hit.
Well, and that never feels good as a quarterback, as you know. That where he's able to avoid it. But when you go up into a throwing motion, that's where it gets a little awkward because you never know sure how you're going to come down. You never know where the hit's going to come from when you got your arm up in the air. And I don't think it's a problem with the first hit. I think it's the second hit. You can see the crown of the helmet of the defender going right into the face mask of Alex Smith. And that's really where the protection is coming from Walt Anderson back there as the official calling that play, is when you see the crown of the helmet hitting the quarterback.
Brings up first down right at the 10-yard line. Smith looking to his left, back across the middle. And Dwayne Bowe had a chance. Michael Wilhoit, nice job with the pass defense, and that's incomplete.
You can see Dwayne Bowe is coming from the right, and Alex Smith there, you know, there's some pressure there. He bounces back, and as a quarterback, you'd like to see your receiver flatten off the route a little bit more. He tends to fall upfield. See how right as the ball's coming, he starts to fall upfield towards the end zone. All that does is give the defender the angle to undercut it and knock it away. You have to stay aggressive as a receiver and not give that DB the angle.
Smith to the air again. Steps up, Anthony Fasano right at the 5-yard line. That's a gain of 6, and it'll be third down from right inside the 5.
Anthony Fasano coming up from your traditional linebacker position. You can see with the zone coverage the 49ers pass it off, but Alex does a nice job with the accurate throw underneath, not giving the defender a chance. And as I mentioned with Bowe on the previous play, that time Fasano stays friendly for the quarterback and gives Alex a lane that he can get the ball in cleanly.
Anthony Fasano, I mentioned the cornerbacks, Sean Smith and Dante Robinson, were a clear priority for John Dorsey there in that second week of March when the league year started. Well, Anthony Fasano came in that same week. Second-round pick of the Dallas Cowboys, spent 2 seasons in Dallas with Bill Parcells, and most recently playing 5 years in Miami, and now he is a Kansas City Chief. And I mentioned 5 total catches here at Arrowhead Stadium as an opponent. 4 of those catches went for touchdowns.
Well, Anthony talked about the transition coming over from here. You know, he started his career in Dallas, switched over to Miami, and of course coming here to Kansas City this year. He said there's some terminology that's a little bit different, but a lot of it's very similar, and what really helped him out is having the spring, because as you mentioned, Paul, he was one of the early signees. He was able to get here, get into the playbook, get work with Alex Smith, and really adapt well to what they're trying to get done on the offensive side of the ball.
3rd down and 4. The Chiefs can pick up a first down without getting a touchdown. They get inside the 1, and it'll be first down. Blitz comes, and Alex Smith wanted it to get it to Nile Davis quickly. But Eric Reed, the rookie, first-round selection, in to put an end to those thoughts. He was on Alex Smith in a hurry.
Well, you can see they bring pressure right up the middle. There's nobody there because the back's free releasing. I guess you'd have to see if we have a wider angle or a different angle from that. I thought the officials may call that a backward pass, because as he was getting hit, he tried flipping it out to the running back, and that's one of those borderline, but they blew the whistle right away, and that's a review that's got to be controlled by the sideline, because it's not under 2 minutes right now.
Ryan Suckup from 23 yards out. And the Chiefs now lead by 7 at 13-6. Suckup 2 for 2 tonight. He was 2 for 2 at New Orleans last week. He remains perfect in the preseason. Coming up on the 65-toss Power Trap halftime program, the voice of the Kansas City Chiefs, Mitch Holthus, will sit down with Chiefs offensive coordinator Doug Peterson. Also looking forward to taking a listen to Mic'd Up with head coach Andy Reid, and also with quarterback Alex Smith. So Andy Reid saw his veteran cornerback in his first year with the Chiefs, Sean Smith, with the interception to set up that Chiefs offense in excellent position. But the pass rush, the pass defense of the 49ers prevents Kansas City from scoring a touchdown, and Ryan Suckup with his second field goal, and it's 13-6.
Well, and all those things are valuable. As much as you try and do those things as a coach, try and situational offense, quick change. You know, you get the interception, all of a sudden the offense is over on the side, game planning, trying to figure out what their next series is. That quick change, getting the team out on the field, that's something you can't you can talk about it in practice, but you can't simulate it until all of a sudden you have to go out there. Your coaching staff has to be ready for that quick change, and then you get the ball down in the red zone. How are you going to attack your red zone game plan?
Well, Michael James, no chance to return. Let's check in on the sideline, an injury update with Rachel Sanchi.
Yeah, guys, Dante Robinson has a right shoulder injury. He's questionable to return in the game. Travis Kelce has a knee bruise, and he is out. Eric Fisher, as you mentioned earlier, he has an injury on his finger, but he seems fine. So we'll see how the rest of the half goes.
All right, Rachel, thank you. Those are all 3 new Chiefs. Eric Fisher, the #1 pick in the draft. We saw his hand getting looked at on the sideline earlier. He did come back and play. Travis Kelce, the 3rd-round tight end out of Cincinnati. Bruised knee, as Rachel mentioned. And Dante Robinson, after breaking up a pass on 4th down. Rachel calling it a shoulder injury. And we'll see if he makes it back. Jewel Hampton, the tailback for San Francisco, picking his way through the middle of that Kansas City defense for a gain of 6.
Well, and based on previous replays, Paul, I think it's maybe Dante's shoulder got hurt on the pass breakup. Maybe Dante's shoulder got hurt on the chest bump with the DJ over on the sideline.
A celebration right after. Scott Tolzien working the back shoulder fade against Brandon Flowers, and that one falls incomplete. Intended for Kasim Osgood, veteran wide receiver / special team star. And there's Bob Sutton, the defensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs. Spent over a decade with the New York Jets, spent time as a defensive coordinator. And that Jets defense in his time there really is, especially under Rex Ryan, getting that calling card of being an aggressive, overloading blitz kind of defense. They only bring 3 here on 3rd down. Tolzien stands in, finds Hall, and that's a 49er first down. Kendrick Lewis with the tackle, but the Niners pick up 21. That brings us to the 2-minute warning. The Chiefs lead by a touchdown. 2 minutes till halftime. The Chiefs lead by 7, 13-6. We've been asking for your photos and also your comments on Twitter, and we thank everyone for sending them in. Here's a couple of examples, a handful of examples of what's been sent in. Keep them coming. We'll keep sharing them throughout the broadcast here tonight. And here's a tweet watching the game at 2 a.m. from across the pond in the UK. They left out the part that says, "Trent, you sound great." Not enough characters for that.
That's right.
Jewel Hampton, the tailback for the Niners here. First down and 10. It's been musical chairs at quarterback for San Francisco. Kaepernick started. Now we've been going back and forth between Colt McCoy and Scott Tolzien. Tolzien with the completion there. And the tackle made by Vince Agnew, gain of 5.
We talked a little bit earlier, Paul, about Bob Sutton and him coming over from the Jets and really, you know, the Rex Ryan defense and the way he likes to utilize player. Having a chance to talk to Mike DeVito, who was with Sutton in New York. He said Sutton does such a good job of recognizing and understand what it is players do well and calling defenses to help his players and put them in good positions, finding ways to utilize their talents.
Nice job on the blitz there. The ball knocked down by Hussein Abdullah.
Hussein Abdullah, you can see coming off the edge, jumps up and is able to, actually there's two guys flying through the air there, but Abdullah is the one that gets the ball. You see Agnew 34, he realizes that tight end's free in the flat, so they're going to make a double wall jumping up, make this to a third, what is it, a healthy 6 you think, Paul?
Healthy 6, that works for me. Okay. San Francisco on third down, unhealthy percentage here, Trent. They're 3 out of 9. And that'll make it 3 out of 10. Scott Tolzien had nowhere to go with it. Nice pressure in his face as well. Number 35 is Quentin Demps. Tamba Hali was also there.
Good job by Tamba. You can just see a bull rush there. Dumping the tackle right in Tolzien's lap.
No finesse there.
No spin move, no chops, nothing. I'm just going to drive you right back in the quarterback. And this is exactly what we talked to Andy Reid about, having an opportunity to do a 2-minute drill at the end of the half. I said, are you going to leave Alex in the game for this type of situation? He said, you know what, if Alex is in the game, I want to see him in the first unit offense have a chance for the 2-minute drill. So that's exactly what we're going to get here as the Chiefs have 2 timeouts.
Devin Wiley from inside the 10. Take a look at Tamba Hali here coming in with that pure power rush. 35.5 sacks in the last 3 seasons. 62.5 career, that's number 4 all-time with the Chiefs, behind Derek Thomas, the late Derek Thomas, Neil Smith, and Art Still.
You heard that football term, low man wins? Yeah. Well, Tamba was the low man there because he lifted him right off the ground and dumped him right in the quarterback's lap. So for all you young football players out there, you may hear that from time to time with your coaches, no matter what it is, that low man generally wins in terms of the leverage.
So Alex Smith, it's been kind of a choppy first half of the offense. You talked about the situational football you saw at training camp when you watched on Wednesday. Here's an excellent situation here to run that 2-minute offense with 1:38 left, and as Trent mentioned, 2 timeouts remaining. First play is a run to the rookie Mal Davis, putting that head down, getting out to the 15-yard line. And on first down, the Chiefs pick up 7.
Well, a lot of teams, they like starting their 2-minute drill, especially if you're down inside your 10-yard line. They like starting the 2-minute drill with the draw, just to see if you get a big chunk, just to get things out of there a little bit. Sometimes they like setting it up with a screen, but that time there, Davis is able to pick up the 8 yards and give him a room to try and run this 2-minute offense.
Clock ticking now, second down and 2. Smith wanted to go to the right, keeps it now just across the 15-yard line, picks up 1. See if they use one of their timeouts now.
Well, I think had they picked up the first down, that's a case that you do use the timeout, but with it being third down, you don't necessarily want to burn it, because if you don't make it on third down, then you're giving the 49ers extra time. So not a lot of places for Alex to go with that football as the pocket collapsed around him.
Mal Davis off the left side. That's a Kansas City first down. Nice job of keeping his feet there as he spun around. Davis picks up 9. 2 plays ago, he picked up 7, and it's first down. Clock is stopped now with 37 seconds left.
Nice job by Brandon Albert on the left side, sealing the edge, and Anthony Fasano opening things up for the lane to get through. And as you can see, Mal Davis is close to tearing off a big chunk there as he stumbles at the end. He tries to spin out of it. Nice job by the line creating the hole. Good job by Albert collapsing thing. Good job by Fasano kicking it out. Baldwin up the field with the block down the field. They use up one of their timeouts, 37 seconds now.
Anthony Fasano showing why he is an old school tight end. Guy who can catch the ball. We've seen that a couple times tonight. And also block when you need him to. Now one timeout left, 37 seconds left. Smith back to the air. Pumping wanted to go deep, nothing there, and that's a coverage sack. Paris Harrelson drops Smith in the backfield.
Well, the 49ers are just playing the zone coverage here. You see the double move on the outside. Now that's an illegal bump. That's past the 5 yards. He does the double move. Now whether or not they think Alex has pressure on him before that happens, that's what the determination of the official down the field has to decide. But there's clearly a bump past the 5-yard area.
And that'll be the final play of the first half. First half where the special teams excelled for Kansas City. Quentin Demps had a 104-yard kickoff return for a touch. Ryan Suckup with a pair of field goals. And the Chiefs lead 13-6. Halftime here at Arrowhead Stadium. The end of the first half. 13-6. Kansas City on top. We'll be back with the 65 Toss Power Trap Productions halftime program right after the break. You're watching Chiefs preseason football.
This is the preseason. No guarantees. Where the right moment makes the right difference. The right move makes the right path. Where a set of circumstances can make it possible to do something greater than you have ever done before. Hey, this is no practice. No. This is what opportunity looks like.
Halftime coming to a close here inside Arrowhead Stadium. There is Alex Smith. He was busy in that first half. Kansas City leads heading into the third quarter, 13-6. Welcome to the broadcast booth here as we get ready for the third quarter. Trent Green, Paul Burmeister, Rachel Sanchi on the sidelines. And all eyes, not only inside this stadium, but around the National Football League, Trent, focused on Alex Smith and how he would play against his old team. He led 7 series, kind of an underwhelming performance by the offense, at least in the first half.
Yeah, you expected more from the offense. You wanted more because of what happened a week ago against New Orleans. You know, Alex came out, he was 7 of 16. He had some drops, he had some throwaways, but it just didn't look clean. They were trying to get the ball up the field. You know, there was no throws to the wide receiver except for the one to Dexter McCluster a week ago against New Orleans. Tonight they're trying to stretch the field, trying to get the ball upfield. What that means, though, is you have to hang on to the ball longer, so you're taking more chances with the pocket. The 49ers were able to collapse that pocket and not give Alex much of an area to go to. And he has had some attempts up the field. You know, Baldwin, a couple of attempts his way. Bo had an attempt his way. It just hasn't worked out for them.
Here's now the game summary brought to you by Farmland Foods. Farmland, passion for pork since 1959. And as you can see, both offenses not at their best there in the first half. They're both going 3 for 10 in third down situations. The interception for Sean Smith on the Kansas City defense. Ryan Suckup, he was good in that first half. He had 2 field goals. He was 2 for 2. That means he's 4 for 4 in the preseason. Parrish Cox is number 20 for San Francisco. He had a sack in the first half. He's also deep to return to start this second half. From 8 yards deep, here comes Parrish Cox. Tried to cut it back to the outside, couldn't quite get there, down to the 22-yard line. Rachel Sanchi on the sidelines had a chance to speak to Andy Reid. What'd you learn?
Yeah, guys, I just talked to Andy Reid, and he said that for the first half, he thought the defense did well. The offense was a little bit off. I asked him about our third-round draft pick, Niall Davis. He said he thinks he's having a great game. Now going into the second half, it's time for the twos to step up, and it's time to execute.
And Niall Davis certainly busy in that first half, Rachel. Again, he's the leading rusher for Kansas City. 10 carries, 37 yards. And at least one nice screen pass as well to pick up a first down. Tailback for San Francisco is Jewel Hampton. And Hampton dragged down there. Nice first play by that Chiefs defense. Nico Johnson is number 57, the rookie out of Alabama. That's no gain.
Well, now some of the backups are getting a chance to play here in this second half. You can see Nico Johnson, who's been rotating with the ones. Most of the snaps tonight went to Akeem Jordan, but Nico Johnson's right in the mix there for that middle linebacker spot. That's something we talked to Andy Reid about. That's one of the biggest and best competitions going on in training camp right now, is between Johnson and Jordan.
Nico Johnson, 4th-round pick out of Alabama. 3 national titles he was a part of for Nick Saban there in the Crimson Tide. Nice touch pass there. It's Chad Hall with the first down. And Colt McCoy, the quarterback there, picking up 19 yards. Jaleel Brown just missing out there.
19 yards on the play.
So here's what's happening at inside linebacker. Raheem Jordan against Nico Johnson. And it's kind of the tale of the tape, I guess. The bottom line here, both these players are going to be on the team. It's just a matter of which one starts.
Who's going to be the starter? And Jordan coming over from Philly, so Andy Reid has a background with him. He knows what he can do. Nico Johnson, as you mentioned, coming off several national championships from Alabama, presents some athleticism that maybe Jordan doesn't have, but they're both right in the hunt for the starting job.
Almost coming up at the sack. Number 99 is Edgar Jones. 6th-year linebacker entering his 2nd season with Kansas City.
Here's the bootleg. He gets upfield, trying to put pressure on McCoy. Nice job staying home. Good coverage downfield, not giving McCoy anywhere to go with the football. Quentin Demps comes up and is able to get in on the tackle. That ball pops out after it hits the ground.
Quentin Demps with the touchdown tonight, the lone touchdown for Kansas City on the kickoff return in the first quarter. Delayed draw up the middle. Jaleel Brown there to make the tackle. And that's a nice job of fighting for extra yardage by Jewel Hampton to pick up 10 yards. Looking back in the first half, here is the touchdown, the lone touchdown for KC. Excellent job of blocking by Dave Tobe's special teams unit on that kick return. Quentin Demps was only touched one time, and as you can see, he was not tackled. 104-yard touchdown return, and Sean Smith late in the second quarter. Looking forward to watching him in his first season with the Kansas City Chiefs. After the previous 4 with Miami, that interception led to a Ryan Suckup field goal. He had 2 in the first half. Jewel Hampton dropped there. The credit for the tackle going to go to Edgar Jones, the man who almost had the sack, and that's a loss of 2. Edgar Jones, 6th year as a linebacker here, spent 5 seasons in Baltimore before signing with Kansas City last July.
2nd down and 12.
And has made his money literally, mostly as a special teams player, Baltimore and also here in Kansas City. Right now, this is what the preseason is all about. Guys getting a chance to prove their worth actually on the field during offense or defense.
Well, we had John Dorsey up here in the second quarter, and he was talking as a player that he was, it was important for him to do well on special teams. And a lot of these guys we're going to see in the second half, with the exception of Johnson and Jordan, who are competing at an inside linebacker spot, a lot of these guys are competing, whether it be for that 3rd, 4th, or 5th roster spot at their specific positions, and how they'll make the team is on special teams and excelling in that phase of the game.
Andy Reid, after 14 seasons as the head coach of the Eagles, now coaching his very first game on the sidelines at Arrowhead as a Kansas City Chief.
On the 47-yard line, it's 3rd down.
And he sees his defense now with a 3rd down situation. They did very well in the first half in these spots. As San Francisco converted only 3 out of 10. This is 3rd down and 9. Colt McCoy. Penalty marker is down, but McCoy finds his receiver, A.J. Jenkins, last year's 1st-round pick out of Illinois.
Flag on the play.
Holding, number 67.
And that's coming back, holding against the 49ers.
Well, A.J. Jenkins is a guy that's kind of underperformed for what the expectations were for the 49ers, but now with the injury to Michael Crabtree, look for him to get more of an opportunity as he's trying to step up. But here he's going to be on Nico Thorpe. You can see the hold right there on Edgar Jones as he's trying to get upfield.
And that holding negated a 21-yard gain from Colt McCoy to A.J. Jenkins. It's now 1st down and 10. Pardon me, 3rd down. 3rd down and 18. Difference between the scoreboard and the TV set here. We'll go with 3rd down and 18.
Well, the officials didn't even know. They had to blow the whistle to move the ball back a yard. So, it's a preseason for everybody, I guess, right?
There we go. 3rd down and 18. Chiefs bring 4. McCoy plays it safe, lays it off to Hampton out of the backfield. Chief defense led by Hussein Abdullah there with the tackle. Long way to a first down there. It's now 4th down and 6. And Devin Wiley back to receive. Where do you think Devin Wiley stands here on this team here, Trent? He was drafted last year to be a special teams ace and also that slot receiver. Heading into his second season, where does it all stand?
Well, you know, he was a guy that only dressed for a couple games last year. He was inactive the most of the season, so he's right in the mix for that 4th, 5th receiver. Where he's going to come, you know, how's he going to do in special teams? How, you know, there's a lot of good returners on this team. We talked about Nile Davis. Quentin Dimps had the big return earlier. Dexter McCluster, you know, is going to be one of the returners. So Devin Wiley has to find that mix where he's going to be that 4th, 5th receiver, especially if he's looking to dress out on game day.
Waiting for the call here in the penalty.
An eligible player of the kicking team, number 45, was downfield prior to the kick. That's a 5-yard penalty. Kansas City has elected to enforce the penalty and replay 4th down.
All right, we are replaying 4th down. So Devin Wiley will get a chance to do something besides fair catch.
Yeah, ineligible or an ineligible player downfield too early, so they're going to give him another chance at it. And you know, as mentioned earlier about Devin Wiley competing for that 4th or 5th spot, and the special teams is going to be a big factor in it. You have to realize what the Chiefs are trying to do when you go out and you get an Anthony Fasano, you have a Tony Moyaki coming back, Travis Kelce is a guy you drafted tight end. There's obviously going to be a focus on the tight end. You go out and get a Nile Davis, and obviously Jamal Charles is coming back, but you've got to find some receivers to complement Dwayne Bowe, and you can see earlier tonight, Jonathan Baldwin had a few balls thrown his way, but there's still open competition. Donnie Avery was brought over as a free agent.
And here goes Devin Wiley. Nice ball around that left side. Wiley inside San Francisco territory. And a lot like Quentin Demps with his touchdown return of the kickoff earlier, a lot of credit to the blocking. He wasn't touched until he was tackled. Nice sprint around the left side, and that's a 52-yard return.
I want you to watch and see the wall that Devin Wiley has built for him. He runs to that left side, and you can see there is nobody out in front of him. As you said, Paul, nobody touched him until he was across the 40-yard line. Great job once again by the punt return unit. Earlier it was the kickoff return unit breaking Quentin Demps for the long touchdown run. This time the punt return unit. This is two weeks in a row that the return game has stepped up.
And there he is, and I would say Dave Tobe, the special teams coach for the Chiefs, he is his unit's the star so far. That's 4 returns in 2 games in excess of 50 yards. New quarterback is Chase Daniel. Play action.
Daniel's pass is complete.
Daniel to Kevin Brock, the tight end out of Rutgers, and that's a gain of 3. So Chase Daniel, last week he was back in New Orleans. He spent 4 seasons with the New Orleans Saints. And he really made a name for himself, if you can do so, or built a nice reputation during the preseason. He was terrific the last couple of years. Last year, 46 out of 64 for over 70%, 4 touchdowns in the preseason. Earned a lot of respect from Andy Reid during that time. And now getting a chance to work with an offensive line. And that's a completion to Donnie Avery. Good to see him get the football. We do have a penalty marker on the play. But we're hoping to see Chase better protected than he was last week in New Orleans.
Well, and that was something that Andy talked to us about. Coach Reid talked to us about. Donald Stevenson
Illegal
missed last week's game.
Offense, number 79 was uncovered on the end of the line. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Well, and speaking of Donald Stevenson, they were excited to get him back. Donald Stevenson's on the right-hand side of this replay. You can see that he moves a little bit early. Nice stop by Chase getting the ball out of his hand quickly.
And 3rd down and 12. Chase Daniel, the quarterback. Pardon me, 2nd down and 12.
Cyrus Gray, the ball carrier.
Cyrus Gray for a gain of 7. And Cyrus Gray finds himself in an interesting spot because Jamal Charles, obviously the #1 tailback here. It appears the way the reps have been dished out in these first couple of games as Alex Smith watches the sideline. That's Tyler Gray, number 9. It looks like Nile Davis is going to be the backup. So you've got Sean Drone and Cyrus Gray, the way I would look at it, fighting for that 3rd spot and final spot for the tailbacks.
Well, once again, it's going to come down to special team play. They both bring something to the table in terms of speed, in terms of aggressiveness, in terms of strength as a running style. right there, Cyrus Gray gets beat. I'm sorry, Sean Drone gets beat. So that's something you have to be able to come in and do pass protection, but obviously the special teams part of it is important as well.
Well, I mentioned we were hoping to see Chase Daniel better protected than he was a week ago. Well, that's not off to a very good start. Sacked by Jason Shepler on third down. That's the 4th sack by the Niners tonight.
And as we mentioned, Donald Stevenson coming back, but this time here it's all Sean Drone. He's one-on-one. He's got to be able to step up and give Chase time to get that ball out of his hand.
Dustin Colquitt had a perfect punt in this situation back in the first half. Landed it inside the 5-yard line to the surprise of no one. And that one was blocked from the get-go. Sprinting in there is Paris Harrelson. He was untouched. And Colquitt really never had a chance there.
Well, we've given a lot of credit to Dave Tobe about his return game, and this time he's not going to be real happy with the fact nobody touches, as you said, Paul, nobody even touches him. He comes off that right side. Nobody lays a hand on him, and it's a good thing that on that block that Colquitt wasn't knocked down, because he was able to recover and make that tackle. Had he gone to the ground, there's nobody else back there. The rest of the Chiefs are down the field.
Paris Harrelson will never have it easier than that for a block punt, and Jewel Hampton continues to be the tailback here. Colt McCoy is out. Scott Tolzien back in at quarterback. And that's Hampton, bottom of the pile. Edgar Jones. As he picks up 3. You see there, Dustin Colquitt, 3 punts blocked. The last time it happened was back in 2010. 3 out of 657.
It's a pretty good ratio. And you know that when Dustin's in that position on the field, and you mentioned it, Paul, that he generally is going to put that ball inside the 20, if not inside the 10.
Chiefs starting defense played the entire first half. We're looking at backups now for that KCD. And the backups get to Scott Tolzien. Number 95 is Jarrell Poe. 3rd season in Kansas City, the 6th-round selection. Back in 2011, coming up with the sack there.
When you got two Poes on the defensive line playing defensive tackle, but Jarrell does a nice job. You see them there. They have a little bit of a twist going on up front. He comes off. Nobody touches him as he comes twisting around the other side, and does a nice job of wrapping up the quarterback and bringing him down.
Give credit to Nico Johnson as well, the rookie out of Alabama. What Poe started, he finished. And it's now 3rd down and 13. Tolzien flushed out to his left. Going to keep it himself and give credit to that Chiefs pass coverage. He had time, but he had nowhere to go with it. Nico Johnson runs him out of bounds, and that's a gain of 3 for Tolzien.
Well, Nico Johnson ran him out of bounds, but Edgar Jones, once they got to the sideline, he had a chance for one of those blow-up shots. Nice discipline on his part. He wanted to hit him. He ran all the way over there to get him, and that's one of those things. Good, smart decision on Edgar Jones' part. That would have been a 15-yard penalty and given him a first down, but he held up right at the end.
Well, Phil Dawson already did this once today, and it was on this side of the field. He knocked it through from 55 yards out, and we'll see if he can do it again. And the answer is yes. He has a pair of 55-yard field goals, and with 5:42 left in the 3rd, the Chiefs have a 4-point lead. We've got a whole lot of special teams here tonight, Mr. Trent Green. We've got Quentin Demps with a kick return for a score. Phil Dawson for San Francisco has a couple of 55-yard field goals. Devin Wiley has a nice return earlier here in the second half, a 52-yard return. Ryan Suckup is 2 for 2 on field goals, and Kansas City has a 13-9 lead.
This has been a special teams dominated kind of game.
We just had a block punt.
Had a block punt. We've had big kickoff returns, punt returns. Yeah, as you mentioned, Wiley with a big punt return. It's just been one of those kind of games. Hasn't been a lot of production in the passing game for either team, as the quarterbacks on both sides have been dealing with protection issues.
Wiley from the goal line. Had a hard time getting out from behind his blockers there. Didn't make it out to the 20. Chase Daniel will be the quarterback once again, looking to get something going for that Chiefs offense. 5:37 left in the 3rd. Fantasy football owners, it is draft season. And for the first time, you can host your fantasy football draft in a suite here at Arrowhead Stadium on September 2nd. Each suite includes unlimited food and beer, an NFL fantasy football draft kit, wireless internet, and a ticket to the Chiefs versus the Browns game for all participants. To book your fantasy football draft at Arrowhead, contact the Chiefs at chiefsfantasydraft.com. You might want to draft Alex Smith. Dwayne Bowe might be a good pick, and check him out there talking to Andre Reed, the man who is this close to making it to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, playing a role here at training camp this year.
He has been, and you know it's good for Andre to get back out there. He's trying to make that transition in his career to get back into coaching, and he's had an opportunity to come here to the Chiefs camp. He was telling us down on the sideline earlier that this is going to be his last game. He was here for the first 2 preseason games and the first couple of weeks of training camp, but after speaking to some of the receivers, you know, it's been a good combination, you know, with Andre Reed being there talking from a player perspective, and then David Coley, the wide receiver coach. It's a nice combination those two have had in teaching the receivers.
Chase Daniel completes last year's draft selection in the 7th round out of Michigan, Junior Hemingway. That's a gain of 7. First down, Kansas City. See, the pace of play continues there. They trust Chase Daniel to run the same type of offense that Alex Smith did. Alex had 7 series in the first half, played the entire first half. That ball tipped at the line of scrimmage. It was intended for Tony Moriarty. And there's a flag. We have some late activities, some extracurriculars between Stevenson. Get a look here at the 49er there. And DeMarcus Dobbs.
DeMarcus Dobbs takes a swing and hits him across the face mask.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 83, defense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Yeah, it wasn't very subtle.
And it was right in front of the official.
Before the penalty, here's Daniel with the ball knocked down by Jason Scheffler. And now the penalty.
First and 10 Kansas City from the Chiefs 43-yard line.
You can see Stevenson and Dobbs going down the right side of the screen. There's a hand to the face.
There's the paw across the face mask.
You see, I thought Stevenson was going to do one of those NBA flops. You see him after it happened, he's like, wait a second, I need to react more. Maybe somebody will see it. So, but they did it right in front of the official, so there was no mistaking that.
Cyrus Gray for a gain of 2. And Andre Reed, we saw him earlier there at the Chiefs sidelines. Trent mentioned the role he was playing at training camp, working with the wide receivers. He didn't know how ahead of his time he was. I mean, think back to that offense that Buffalo ran. They used the slot receiver a lot. He was inside and outside. And with the way the game has evolved now, the passing game is much about what happens with the slot receivers and tight ends as it is about the outside receivers. Andre did them both very well.
You know, you talk about the K-gun and what they did in the no huddle, and really it was ahead of their time. You know, so many teams use that now, and you know, Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas, and you know, Andre Reed deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, and I'm sure he will be one day. But with the numbers that receivers and quarterbacks are putting up now, it seems like he's had to drag out. You know, he's been a finalist for the Hall of Fame many times, and I think in due time he deserves it. You know, you're talking 4 straight Super Bowls that Buffalo Bill team went to.
You got Andre and Tim Brown with the numbers to get in, just kind of waiting there for the chance to get in. The receiver this year was Chris Carter, who also certainly deserved it. 3rd down and 7 now for Chase Daniel. And he has dropped Parrish Cox in there once again. That's his 2nd sack of the night. And Daniel went down hard. That's the 2nd time he's been sacked tonight.
Well, and once again, you don't know if this is a protection issue or just Chase misses it. You can see Parrish Cox coming off of the left-hand side. There's nobody over there to block it. Donald Stevenson's one-on-one, and he gets blown up there. It's a good thing. You know, there isn't another injury there for Schwartz. You know, Chase and the defender both falling into the back of his legs.
Chad Hall back to receive. Colquitt lifts another beauty inside that 10-yard line. Oh my goodness, is he good at that? Wow. 2nd time Dustin Colquitt has done that tonight. Pins him inside the 5-yard line. That's a punt of 57 yards. We're back right after this.
Welcome back to Arrowhead Stadium, where the Chiefs are up 13-9. I'm joined by Brandon Flowers. Brandon, finally back to football season. What's it like being at Arrowhead Stadium?
It feels good. You know, the first game of the Andy Reid era, the fans came out. It's not a preseason environment right here. It feels like a regular season game, so we try to put on the show for the fans. We came out here, had fun, and had a great time.
Now, the defense did incredibly well in the first half. What are your thoughts on the game so far?
I think the defense came out and played fast. You know, They had a great play early. We bounced back. We had a great special teams play for a touchdown. I think all phases of the day did a great job.
Now, moving to the other side of the ball, you go up against this offense every day of practice. What's it like going up against these guys?
It's tough, man. They keep you on your toes. Alex Smith is so poised at quarterback. He make our job tough. We just get each other better for the season.
Thank you, Brandon.
All right, thank you for having me.
As Rachel mentioned, the defense played very well in that first half. In fact, the three Niners quarterbacks, Colin Kaepernick, Colt McCoy, and also Scott Tolzien, a combined 7 out of 16. Only 62 yards and 1 pick. The new quarterback, the rookie out of South Florida, is B.J. Daniels. And we have a penalty marker there on his very first play.
Holding number 78, offense. Half the distance to the goal. Still first down.
2:38 left in the third quarter. This is the second preseason game for the Kansas City Chiefs, the very first home game, and a game dominated by the special teams so far. Ryan Suck up 2 field goals. Quentin Demps has a kickoff return for a touchdown. Defense is not allowed a touchdown, but the offense has not scored one. And do we have a safety? Loss of 1 and just across that goal line. Chiefs defense stepping up big. Edgar Jones in there.
Watch the right side of your screen. Nico Johnson comes over.
Wow.
The right side of the defensive line. You see Bailey there.
I didn't see a ball come out across the goal line.
I didn't see it across the line either. I mean, we got a different angle, but.
Second down 14 from just across that goal line stripe. Daniels looking to go deep. Incomplete coverage. Jaleel Brown, step for step. And it's third down and long. We'll take another look here at what could have been a safety. Chiefs run defense doing a nice job. And
well, with that ball in his left arm, the official that marked it was on that sideline. So he must have seen the ball break that plane, but nice job by the defense rallying, getting contact in the backfield. Everybody rallying and pinning him down inside the 1 yard line. Now third and long from inside their 1, and the crowd that's here tonight is making it a little difficult on the rookie.
Chiefs defense excellent so far in third down situations. San Francisco only 3 out of 12, and they are now 3 out of 13. And they'll have to punt from their own end zone. Jaleel Brown there once again for the KC defense.
Well, and this is going to be tough now. You got to punt the ball from the back of your end zone. You can see Jaleel Brown, he's going to be one-on-one with the receiver going down the right sideline. This is just one of those back shoulder throws. Earlier in the game, San Francisco was able to get a pass interference on Sean Smith, and of course Sean Smith turned around and got an interception a couple plays later on a back shoulder throw. So on second down, they tried laying it down the field, and it was an overthrow. That time there, they tried a back shoulder. So this short 10 yards for the punter should give good field position for the Chiefs.
Devin Wiley already has a return here in the second half of 52 yards. Flag down. Wiley tried to get around the edge on the right side there. That was a 62-yard punt. Tackle made by DJ Harper, the undrafted free agent running back out of Boise State.
During the return, holding number 47, receiving team. The 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. It'll be first down, Kansas City. Timeout.
47 is Demetrius Harris, undrafted free agent tight end out of Wisconsin, Milwaukee. 1:27 left in the third. Chiefs up 13-9. Chase Daniel will be the quarterback for the Kansas City offense. 1:27 left in the third. Chiefs on top 13-9.
Since 1984, the Chiefs have worked with generous individuals and businesses in Kansas City to make this a successful for local charities and children's agencies. The Chiefs Charities Game is one of the most successful and unique community initiatives in the National Football League. Over the past 8 years alone, nearly $4 million has been raised for charities.
Nice read, good decision there by Chase Daniel. Out of the backfield, finding Tobin Obram, and that's a Chief gain of 11.
That completion good for a Kansas City Chiefs.
See Daniel here with the play action. Nice patience, and just dumps it off. And maybe that'll be the play to get this Kansas City offense going in the second half.
Well, really, Chase hasn't had much time back in the pocket. Good job by the offensive line, picking things up, giving him room to work and go through his progressions and dump it off.
Again to the air, and we've seen this before, and that's a Chiefs quarterback in trouble in the backfield. That's the 6th sack of the night for that Niners defense. A loss of 2 right there.
Once again, it's either a miscommunication in protection or Chase has got to be responsible. You see the top left of your screen coming unblocked off the top. You don't know if that's supposed to be a hot throw or if that's just a protection issue. Either way, the quarterback's gone down a lot tonight.
Lost his helmet. Tough play. Lose yardage and your helmet. Cyrus Gray, the tailback here. Daniel finds an open Donnie Avery. Man who had a lot to do with the success in the rookie season last year of Andrew Luck in Indianapolis. Donnie Avery now on his 4th team in 4 seasons. That's going to be it for Andy Reid and the Chiefs, and Jim Harbaugh and the Niners here in quarter number 3. Chiefs offense on the move a little bit. It'll be 3rd down when we start the 4th quarter. We're back right after this. Chiefs offer 2 tours every weekend at Arrowhead Stadium. The Arrowhead Tour lets you witness the locker room, the walk along the field, and also visit the Hall of Honor presented by Time Warner Cable. The Sea of Red Tour offers those items plus additional benefits and the opportunity to throw a pass on the Chiefs sideline. For more information, you can visit goarrowhead.com. You can also watch the 4th quarter right here, right now at Arrowhead Stadium, the preseason opener for the Chiefs. Been a lot of special teams and a lot of defense so far. Kansas City leads 13-9. Chase Daniel facing 3rd down and 5. He's been sacked 3 times already in the second half. This after Alex Smith was sacked 3 times in the first half. Looking for Devin Wiley, got him, and it looks like Devin has just enough for a KC first down. Gain of 6 when they needed 5. That'll move the sticks.
Nice accurate throw by Chase Daniel here. Devin Wiley is going from our right to left. He comes across, just crosses the linebacker's face, and Chase does a nice job of putting it right on his numbers, keeping it low so it can't be knocked away, protecting the receiver, and of course Wiley picking up a big first down. We've seen what he can do on special teams. It's going to be important for Devin Wiley to step up in the receiving part of things as well.
Stepped up big from his junior to senior season at Fresno State, from 17 receptions to 56. Chiefs would love to see a similar kind of improvement from his rookie year to year number 2. That's Sean Drone in at tailback. He picks up 2. So at tailback, it was a big story coming into tonight. Jamal Charles strained that foot at training camp practice on Monday, didn't practice. The decision was made that he would not play tonight, so we saw a whole lot of Niall Davis. He had 10 carries for 37 yards in the first half, and Cyrus Gray and Sean Drone been kind of going back and forth here in the second half. Drone remains the tailback here on 2nd down 8. And that's a well set up screen. Sean Drone taking advantage of excellent blocking and picks up 17 for a Kansas City first down.
Nice job by Chase. Gets back in the pocket, pauses, draws the defense in. You can see Drone, he does one of those Olay blocks where he acts like he's going to get him and swims by. You see the offensive line. There's Eric Kush, the center, downfield, making a block. We had John Dorsey in here in the second quarter talking about the young offensive line, the young starting offensive line. The second group is even younger, and so you want some athletic linemen to get downfield, whether it be screens, draws, pulling the running back around the outside.
Drone off the right side for 1 yard. He played all 11 games for the Chiefs last year. Played all 16 games. He was originally an undrafted free agent of the Washington Redskins, released in September of 2011. Got his second chance here with the Chiefs and having a nice series here.
Yeah, it's good to see him come back and respond. We saw earlier where he missed a key block on a blitz that San Francisco was doing, and that's when Chase was sacked. And so it's nice to see him respond, bounce back, come up with a big catch, come up with some tough yards running the football. That's how you have to be able to respond in the league.
Drone some tough running inside, picks up 5 yards. And Chase Daniel protected a little bit better on this drive, and he's perfect. He's 4 out of 4 for 41 yards. I know Andy Reid, from the discussion we had with him this week, he was looking forward to seeing Chase play some more behind some better protection. And this drive it's been better, but leading up to it, the protection tonight has been less than what they had hoped.
Well, and Chase is finally getting a drive together. They've mixed it up with the screen. They mixed it up with some draws. Here's another draw to drone. They've done a nice job mixing things up, trying to get this ball into the end zone. It's been a big special teams night, as you've mentioned.
4th down and 2. You're going to kick another field goal here. You're going to see what you have going for it.
Looks like they're going to go for it. Drone does a nice job after getting that draw, avoiding the first contact in the backfield and trying to pick up the first down.
Here's Drone again, and he is met in the backfield and dropped. Niners defense stepping up to that challenge. Dan Skuda there to make the tackle, and it's turned over on downs.
Ball carrier, tackled by Dan Skuda.
Andy Reid's defense will be back after Sean Drone failed to pick it up on 4th down. 13-9, KC leads. 13-9, 11:20 left in the 4th quarter, and we've been inviting your tweets, your pictures via Instagram all evening long. And here's one of them. This defense is so fun, so easy to love. Flowers, Barry, Houston, DJ, etc. And they have played well. They haven't given up a touchdown yet. No matter what quarterback San Fran brings in. We've seen Colin Kaepernick, Colt McCoy, Scott Tolzien. And the defense done a nice job here tonight, just like they did last week at the Superdome. DJ Harper, the tailback, undrafted free agent out of Boise State. And BJ Daniels is the quarterback for San Francisco. That's a gain of 3. Tackle made by Anthony Toribio.
Oh, and you mentioned the defensive players that were in that tweet right there, and then you have the Pro Bowl players that are coming back, you know, and then you add the compliment of Sean Smith coming in, the development of Dontari Poe, you know, who's going to be the other inside linebacker, and Akeem Jordan and Nico Johnson. So Dante Robinson coming in as your nickelback. So there's been a lot of the same as far as those Pro Bowl guys coming back, but added a lot of complementary players as well to shore up this defense for the Kansas City Chiefs.
B.J. Daniels chased out of the pocket, eventually making the tackle. Is the cornerback Jaleel Brown. It's a gain of 3.
Nice pressure by the front 4 of the Chiefs, closing that pocket, not giving him anywhere to go. Once he bounces outside, he's able to pick up a few yards, but now they force him into a 3rd and medium.
3rd down and 4 to be exact for B.J. Daniels now as we approach the 10-minute mark of the 4th quarter. Quarterback draw. Had some space and just enough for a 1st down. Penalty marker down. Tackle made by Quentin Demps. He of the 104-yard touchdown return earlier back in the 1st quarter.
Number 65, offense. 10-yard penalty, still 3rd down. Enforcement is from the spot of the foul.
So all players out there right now, Trent, and I'm focusing on the defensive backfield, looking to find a spot on the 53-man roster. And at the cornerback position, Brandon Flowers, Dante Robinson, Sean Smith, those guys are going to be there. After that, how many corners do you think make this squad? Thinking 2, 3?
There could be 2, but you have to remember the depth that they have at safety. You know, you got Eric Berry and Kendrick Lewis. You bring over Quentin Demps. It appears after tonight he's definitely going to be a part of the mix.
And they like Sanders Cummings, broken collarbone right now, but the rookie out of Georgia they like a lot.
Tyson Hartman, Hussein Abdullah. I mean, they've got a lot of depth at safety, and some of those safeties you can put in as your nickel and dime defender because of their coverage skills. So it's going to be tough to make this team in the secondary.
B.J. Daniels harassed in the pocket. Austin Lane touched him first after he played 3 seasons for the Jaguars. Toribio was there. Edgar Jones there. Nice job by the KC fronts.
See Jaleel Brown one-on-one on the outside. You just mentioned all the guys that were putting pressure on. You never want to make a quarterback comfortable, and that's not comfortable for any quarterback.
Exactly. Colton Schmidt back to punts for San Francisco, and the rookie undrafted free agent from Florida, the wide receiver Frankie Hammond from the 44. Broke 1 tackle, but that was it. We do have a penalty marker down on the 38-yard line.
There's a flag on the play.
During the return, holding number 35, receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the end of the run. Be first down, Kansas City. Timeout.
Number 35 is Quentin Demps. We have 9:27 left, and we're going to get our first look at the rookie from Tennessee, Tyler Bray, right after this.
This is the preseason. No guarantees. With the right moment, makes the right difference. The right move makes the right path. Where a set of circumstances can make it possible to do something greater than you have ever done before. Hey, this is no practice. No. This is what opportunity looks like.
9:27 left in the fourth quarter. Kansas City leading 13-9. A lot of eyes tonight on number 11 for the Chiefs, Alex Smith. Taking on his old team, the team that drafted him first overall back in 2005. 8 seasons with the Niners later. He led 7 series, was 7 out of 16, 62 yards, was also sacked 3 times. Jamal Charles did not play tonight, strained foot on Monday. Holding him out as he gets healthy, and the new quarterback is Tyler Bray has the first pass batted back. And Andy Reid hoping that he's protected better than the first 2 quarterbacks. Alex Smith, Chase Daniels sacked combined 6 times. So here is Tyler Bray, came out after his junior season, highly talented, pretty good production there at Tennessee. Played a little bit last week at the Saints. 24 starts at Tennessee. Led his team to a 13-11 record. All kinds of upside with the talent. Some other questions surrounding him, but the football side of things, this is an extremely talented rookie quarterback.
Well, you see a guy that's 6'6", 215 pounds. He's got a cannon front arm. They're going to give him some opportunities to stay in the pocket and make some throws. Alex Smith and Chase Daniel are more your mobile type quarterbacks. They can stand in the pocket and make throws, but they also can get outside and move around a little bit. Tyler Bray's the guy that's going to stand in there and fire the ball. Here Newsome beats the defender inside, and Bray puts it right on his neckline. It's an ugly tackle, at least for Newsome as far as his knee's concerned, but he was able to hop up and jog back to the huddle.
Jamar Newsome, second training camp with the Chiefs. Played in 6 games last year with a couple of starts. He caught 5 passes. 3rd down and 5 for Tyler Bray. Half roll to his left. Threw a little high and late, coming right back to Newsome. And it'll be 4th down and 5. Coverage by Parrish Cox.
Trying to move the pocket around a little bit. This time they do a half roll, let him set up. The defender sits all over it, comes back and breaks up the ball. There was a corner route over the top. If Bray had a little bit more time maybe to step up and throw that ball down the field, but trying to pick up the first down on 3rd and medium there, 3rd and 4. Defensive back just made a nice play.
Dustin Colquitt putting on a clinic tonight. That one goes to the end zone, but he's already had a couple tonight down inside the 5. 2 flags down here, as we see him unable to get through a special teams play without a flag here. This portion of the 4th quarter.
During the kick, holding number 33, receiving team. Half the distance to the goal from the end of the kick. First down, timeout.
There's Dave Tobe, special teams coach for the Chiefs. Chiefs defense yet to give up a touchdown. We'll see if they can keep that going right after this.
Welcome back to Arrowhead Stadium. The Chiefs are holding a contest this year called Rock the Mic. So if you want to be on the sidelines with me on August 29th, visit ChiefsContest.com. You only have a couple more days to send in your 1-minute demo reel. So get on it. Visit ChiefsContest.com. Best of luck.
All right, chance to be on the sideline with Rachel Trent. That's not so bad. Huh?
You get right down in there. You get interviews with players on the sidelines. You get injury reports.
Injury updates, that's right.
You're close. You get to see full speed contact going on and learn about. Everybody talks about the speed of the game. You're down there on the sideline. You're going to understand the speed of the game.
And if you do win, you get an up-close look at the Chiefs defense, which tonight's done a very good job. I mean, they haven't given up a touchdown.
You know, they did have those big plays that they've given up. They had a short
right away,
field after. But they've responded well. They've done a great job of keeping San Francisco out of the end zone. Just a nice response by Bob Sutton's crew.
Jewel Hampton is the tailback right now. B.J. Daniels the quarterback. Daniels fires, and that'll be a first down San Francisco. And remember, they gave up that 52-yard run, I believe, on the very first play to Frank Gore. And they've done a nice job since then of keeping the quarterbacks and the running backs bottled up.
Good job, good discipline staying home. Not letting the quarterback outside contain. You can see the gang tackle there. Before that play's ended, there was a good 7 Chiefs there around the ball carrier.
Daniels has room to run here. Just take a knee. Penalty flag coming in late at the 25-yard line. There's Bob Sutton, the defensive coordinator for
Illegal
Kansas City.
hands to the face, number 90, defense. It's a 5-yard penalty. Will be added to the end of the run. First down.
Number 90 is Austin Lane, 5th-round pick of the Jaguars back in 2010. Played the last 3 seasons with Jacksonville. All right, Trent, here's a question for you. How do you manage expectations? I guess, how do you have realistic expectations for a team that won only 2 games last year?
Right.
Scored the fewest points of any team in the NFL. Created the fewest turnovers on defense. So you have that, but you also have Andy Reid in town. A fantastic resume. You've upgraded a quarterback with Alex Smith. You've got a tremendous amount of talent on that defensive side. So realistic expectations for progress this year, considering all of that.
You know, you have to think of it that way. And, you know, there has been so much buildup. Obviously, Andy Reid's resume speaks for itself. John Dorsey, the job that he did up in Green Bay, the talent evaluation that he did up in Green Bay, the number of additions that the Chiefs have made this offseason in personnel, through the draft, through trades, through free agent acquisitions. You know, and then, of course, you go back to last week's game. The first series for the offense, the first series for the defense couldn't have been any better. It was great on both sides of the ball. So not only do you have the buildup of the entire offseason, but you have the buildup of the hype after the first preseason game. So the expectations are high around town, and everybody's expecting a huge turnaround. And there's, you know, it's just excitement to be. Everybody can't wait for the opener to get here. Of course, the opener is going to be down in Jacksonville. The home opener will be that following week against the Cowboys. You know, so you got a team that years and years ago was in Dallas. So there's still some of that rivalry with the Hunt family. And, of course, Jerry Jones has now taken over ownership of the Dallas Cowboys. But, you know, there's some history there between those 2 teams and 2 organizations. So there is great buildup and anticipation going into the regular season.
Speaking of, you haven't even gotten to week 3 yet when it's the Chiefs at the Eagles on a Thursday night on NFL Network. And Andy Reid going back to the team where he spent 14 seasons. B.J. Daniels, nice play there on 3rd and short. And eventually tackled by Tyson Hartman. First down in San Francisco. So we take a look here at what the Chiefs have coming up. We talked about the game at Jacksonville. The Cowboys, a huge game here in week 2. Then at Philadelphia on a Thursday night. And then the Giants. So you kind of knock out the NFC East.
The NFC East is big there. The 3 of those first 4 games, and then Tennessee, and you finally get one of your division opponents in Oakland. So you can tell by that first half of the season, that means that second half of the season is going to be heavily loaded in division games.
Chiefs defense getting in there. Nice job of the sack. Zach Dials, the veteran linebacker, drops Daniels.
Zach Dials coming on a delayed blitz up the middle. Is able to get past the running back and get a hold of Daniels. We talked earlier about Sean Drones blocking the backfield. Same thing there for San Francisco with the blitzing linebacker. They have to be able to pick it up. Good thing for Dials, he kept going and was able to get the sack.
Daniels back to pass again. Jaleel Brown there with the coverage, but that one is caught by Chuck Jacobs. And that's a gain of 14.
Jaleel Brown one-on-one at the top of your screen. Does a nice job of breaking on the ball, but the ball, Daniels throws that ball up high to where Brown can't jump up and knock it away, and he does a good job of securing the tackle. He had good reaction to that ball, Paul, and had that ball been a little bit lower, we've been able to knock it away. It's good ball placement by Daniels getting that high and away, so Brown couldn't knock it away.
3rd down and 3. Chiefs defense, similar situation earlier. 4th down and 3 came up huge and turned it over on downs. Timeout to think about it. Andy Reid will watch that 3rd down and 3 right after this. Tonight's game is brought to you by Hy-Vee. Hy-Vee, a helpful smile in every aisle. McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it. And Farmland Foods. Farmland, passion for pork since 1959. Time now to take a look at the Hy-Vee drive and a half. Hy-Vee, a helpful smile in every aisle. That's Anthony Pisano, new chief there, and that's Ryan Suckup. He's 2 for 2 on field goals tonight, 4 for 4 in the preseason, and the Chiefs had a 13-9 lead. Alex Smith watching from the sideline there, played the entire first half, led 7 drives. Threw a couple passes away, had a couple dropped, but not a great night for Alex in that first team offense. Speaking of our sponsor there, Hy-Vee, Trent, how many times did your parents tell you growing up, you're going to ruin your appetite in between lunch and dinner? There was a Hy-Vee half a block from my house in Iowa City, Iowa, and it ruined many an appetite, many a dinner with that Hy-Vee bakery.
Yes, and you know what, Hy-Vee, as you know, Paul, I was born in Iowa, so my grandparents living in Cedar Rapids had a Hy-Vee right around the corner. So you and I probably spent quite a bit of time in Hy-Vees over our lifetime, that's for sure.
They had those little plastic helmets you could get for a quarter in one of those little machines. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
It was a big deal. Big deal way back when. Dwayne Bowe signing a big deal last March, new 5-year deal for $56 million. I believe we're still waiting for his first catch, though, of the preseason. 3rd down and 4 off his back foot, B.J. Daniels. It's going to be close to a first down tackle made by Vincent Agnew. Complete to Lavelle Hawkins.
Well, the Chiefs brought pressure and put man-to-man coverage across the board, and they just did slants. The 49ers did all-out slants, and Agnew was lined up in that left slot. Daniels, as you can see, is falling away. Gets the ball over the top of Dials there, and in front of Agnew before he can break it up. The officials mark it just past the sticks.
First down and 10. Jewel Hampton dropped in the backfield. Anthony Toribio for a loss of 3. We've been inviting your tweets all evening and have another one to share. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what a starting quarterback's pocket presence and footwork is supposed to look like. I would imagine they're talking about Alex Smith. Not you, but
I don't think we showed any of those highlights.
Jewel Hampton finding some open lanes there. First inside and then back to the right.
You got to remember, though, that offensive line I had, Paul, pretty impressive.
Yeah, starting with Casey Wigman at center.
Yes, your guy Casey, my guy Casey, former Iowa Hawkeye that you played with there, but
and a Hall of Famer,
longtime Chief.
Willie Rowe.
Willie Rowe, Hall of Famer. Will Shields, soon to be Hall of Famer. Brian Waters.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it was
actually really good.
Believe me, I took care of those guys because they took care of me for a long time.
3rd down and 6, 3 wide receivers to the left of Daniels. Looking to the end zone, and that is a touchdown, San Francisco. Chuck Jacobs. B.J. Daniels to Chuck Jacobs. And now the lead belongs to San Francisco.
Nice ball placement by Daniels. Nico Thorpe tries to get his head around, but he's falling off to the wayside instead of being able to get that right arm extended and knock it away. The best thing you can say about this is now all of a sudden with 2 minutes left in the game, the Chiefs are going to have all 3 timeouts. You have
Vince Agnew, nice job coming up with that block. And then Jarrell Poe.
That is huge, Paul, and let me tell you why. With that block extra point, Tyler Bray's going to have an opportunity as a rookie to come in and take him down the field, and a field goal could win the game.
Vince Agnew off the edge with the block to keep that deficit to 2. 2:02 left, and we're back after this. Let's look at the keys to tonight's game presented by the University of Kansas Hospital, the official healthcare provider of the Chiefs. As we see Vince Agnew there, who just had the blocked extra point.
Well, the key was to start fast, and, you know, they wanted to get out. Unfortunately, they didn't get things moving in the first half. They had or in the first quarter, the defense gave up the big yardage, but then they were able to stop and hold it to a field goal. But starting fast with the big kickoff return, stay healthy. They've had a few bumps and bruises tonight. Rachel reported all the nicks and bumps that have happened early on, and they want to win. Well, with 2 minutes left, Tyler Bray is going to have an opportunity to move him down the field, get him in field goal range. That tells you how big of a block Vince Agnew was, because now it's a 2-point game and a field goal can win it.
Cyrus Gray fails to get out to the 20. Out to the 17-yard line. Moments ago to keep that deficit to 2. Vince Agnew off the edge with a block right there. See what Tyler Bray can do after the break.
Back at Arrowhead Stadium, where the 49ers have just taken the lead 15-13 with less than 2 minutes to go. Now, as you've probably heard, the NFL is enhancing their safety policy this year, so you can only bring in clear plastic bags, one such as this from the NFL, or a clear plastic freezer bag. You can still bring in clutches, they just have to be smaller than 4.5 by 6.5. And if you need any more information, visit NFL.com/allclear or goarrowhead.com/allclear.
All right, Rachel, thank you. 1:57 left. Now an excellent opportunity for Tyler Bray. Trailing by 2, that's a good way to start with a strike to Jamar Newsom. Keep in mind, Kansas City has all 3 timeouts remaining. That's a gain of 8. And as expected, Tyler and the other 10 members of that offense hurrying up to the line of scrimmage there on 2nd down and 1.
And that's 2 big catches for Newsom. Newsom's one of those receivers. It's kind of a bubble guy. Is he going to be special teams? Where's he going to fit in as far as the plans? And now that's the 2nd time he's come in with a big catch and taking a collision after catching.
Ray to Moiaki for a Kansas City first down. And Moiaki missed quite a bit of the offseason, coming off a knee scope.
That was an important throw there, getting the first down, moving the chains, getting out of bounds. This is an exciting time for Bray. He may not show a lot of emotions. You look at his body language, and he appears to be very calm. But this is a big moment for a rookie, trying to make an impact, trying to make a statement to the rest of your teammates, to the locker room, to your coaching staff. So this is something that is a big moment for him.
It's one thing to look good, impressive, and gifted during practice, during 7-on-7. You don't get many opportunities like this. And misses there. It'll be 2nd down and 10. But this goes a long, long way to earning that kind of respect. I mean, 1 2-minute drive to bring your team back, even though it's the preseason, to bring your team back and win, 100 times more important than anything you do in May, June, July.
Can't tell you how many guys in the NFL have built the confidence of their teams off of a 2-minute drill. Coming down and bringing a team back to win and finding ways to win the game. You go all the way back to Brett Favre's first start. You talk about Roger Staubach early in his career. I mean, you have the ability to come back, and this time, the last 2 downs, the 49ers have brought pressure and not letting Tyler sit back in the pocket and make throws. And because of that pressure, he's thrown the ball high. He threw the ball high on the last down, and on this down, they're coming right up the middle. Yeah, it's a screen. They're trying to get out wide, but a 6'6" guy, you've got to get that ball down and give your receiver a chance. And some of that's just nerves. But on 3rd down here with, what do we got, 1:20 to go and 3 timeouts, you got to come up with some positive yards.
I mean, even with the pressure there, that's a ball that you have to play right on the 8-4, right?
You have to.
3rd down and 10 now. Still 3 timeouts remaining. There you go. And there's Jamar Newsom breaking tackles. Getting just across that 35-yard line. Tackle made by Nate Stuper. And Kansas City does call a timeout. Newsom picks up 8 yards there.
Final score from Detroit.
Next week, we are back on the road. Preseason week number 3. Chiefs at the Steelers for the all-important preseason game number 3. Traditionally, that's the game where the starters play into the second half. We look forward to watching that. For Pittsburgh next weekend, you can watch it as well on Saturday, 6:30 Central Time from Heinz Field. See Newsom, after catching that pass and picking up 8 yards, or picking up 7 yards, pardon me, hobbling off the field.
When you go back to a couple series ago when he caught that slant route and his knee got twisted up by the defender, you see if there's any lingering effects there after taking a couple of collisions with his last 2 balls that he's caught.
4th down and 3 now for Tyler Bray. Got to get rid of it and fails to. The Niners defense providing the 7th sack of the night. Cam Johnson dropping Tyler Bray there.
Well, they just bring Johnson off the left side of the upper part of your screen. And once again, this has happened several times. With Alex it happened, with Chase it happened, and now with Tyler, where a guy came unblocked off the edge. And either that's a protection issue where the line has to turn to him, or the quarterback has to be aware of it, and that's a hot throw. A hot receiver has to be aware of that guy coming off the edge. So that's something that they can work on this week, because it was effective against all three offenses tonight for the Chiefs.
Alex Smith sacked 3 times in the first half. Chase Daniels sacked 3 times in the second half, and now Tyler Bray sacked 1 time, so that's 7 total for -39. And we saw Andy Reid there with his arms crossed. So a lot of teaching points, a lot of coaching opportunities coming up during film time.
Well, and that's what he said. That's what he said to us this week. Is even though the ones that played so well on both sides of the ball, there was technique, there was assignment, there was things like that he wanted to work on. So he's not going to make those guys feel too comfortable. And believe me, Coach Reid's going to have things to talk about tonight after this game as well, because the offensive line, once again, there were some struggles there. Yes, there wasn't Jamal Charles, but Niall Davis did a nice job of running the ball, was effective on some of his carries, and there was some lanes there. You know, they tried pushing the ball up the field more, so you're going to take more sacks when you're trying to push the ball up the field more to your wide receivers. But there is some that still needs to be cleaned up with a couple more preseason games to go before heading to Jacksonville.
What is the number one thing you take away from preseason game number 2 here tonight, Trent?
The outstanding play of the special teams. You know, it just continued building on last week. You know, we talked about the return yardage in the punting game and the kickoff return a week ago in New Orleans, and it's even gotten better. You know, 2 weeks in a row, so you're seeing that consistency on the special teams. So I think that's a real positive. Offensively, you know, not turning the ball over. Alex Smith did a good job of not turning the ball over, even though he had pressure in the pocket. You know, you mentioned the number of sacks. A lot of times with sacks, you get strips and, you know, fumbles in the backfield. Did a nice job securing the ball. And defensively, the positive would be keeping them out of the end zone until the very end there. You know, they did a nice job of keeping San Francisco until the final couple minutes of the game, keeping them out of the end zone. They had given up some yardage and had given up some field position, but they held them to field goals most of the night.
We just saw Dwayne Bowe on the sideline there, Trent, and he's nice play there by that Chiefs defense. Coming in with an attitude is Marcus Dixon, journeyman in his 6th NFL training camp. Big hit here. Take a listen. And the Chiefs used their final timeout right after that. But getting back to Dwayne Bowe, no catches in 2 games. I mean, I'm sure he's a little disappointed. I would imagine Alex a little disappointed to not get him the ball. But how much do you read into that 0 catches?
Well, you can't get too caught up in it because it is the preseason. You know, I think you'd like to see that combination getting better and better. I look for them to try and get more attempts next week. I don't even know how many times Dwayne was targeted tonight. Let me look at it. From what I can remember off the top of my head, it was really only 1 ball thrown his way. So, you know, you're going to want to try and get him more involved. You know, all receivers like being involved in the game plan. They like getting the ball in their hands. That gets them going. So next week wouldn't be surprising to see them come out with either some slants or quick throws, wide receiver screens, something like that, just to get Dwayne drag routes underneath, you know, something just to get the ball in his hand, because he's such a big weapon and someone that you're going to have to count on once the regular season hits.
From number 82 to number 85, that's Frankie Hammond Jr. out of Florida, undrafted wide receiver free agent. And he has 11 seconds. Talk about a way to make an impression. Go ahead, bring this one out from the goal line. Penalty mark comes raining in there from the sideline as Hammond is dropped at the 3-yard line with 1 second left.
Well, of course there's going to be a penalty on special teams.
I was just thinking how fitting it was.
During
1
the
second
return,
left in the game.
Bowling, number 49, receiving team. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
Half the distance to the goal, that means you have 98 yards left and 1 second.
Not a whole lot of plays in the playbook for that. It's the old, you know, throw the hook, the hook laterals. He runs up laterals. You know, you work on those kind of things in the preseason and getting ready for games. Or the other way to look at it is you got through this game pretty healthy. Run a draw, run a screen, that kind of thing, instead of taking too big of a risk, somebody getting injured.
Did you ever have one of these work?
A 99-yarder?
Just a Hail Mary, a hook and lateral.
No.
There we go. The delayed draw to the 4-yard line, and that is going to do it. No penalty markers down. Preseason game number 2 for the Chiefs, the preseason home opener in the books, and Kansas City led for most of this game. A 104-yard kickoff return back in the first quarter was the highlight by Quentin Demps. That's the lone score, the lone touchdown for Kansas City. Alex Smith saying hello and goodbye to some of his old teammates there. He spent 8 seasons playing for the San Francisco 49ers. Our final score tonight, the Niners come from behind late, go ahead in the fourth quarter to win 15-13. For Trent Green and Rachel Sanchi, I'm Paul Burmeister. Also, for all of us inside that truck, our entire crew with that 65 Toss Power Trap Productions team, thanks for watching and good night from Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City.